Hello and welcome back, Overwatch fans. We are here live. This is FBI Tobo. Got Dora back with me. I'm over here from live 1, I think, or from live 2 to live 1, or live 1 to live 2 or something. I'm not sure. I'm here now, and that's what's important. We got these two teams, that is St. Peter's and Quinnipiac, who are getting on into game. They are going to be here very soon. I just want to let you guys know that we're not gone. You know, it's all gravy. We'll be back here with you in just a couple minutes once these two teams are set up, and we'll talk plenty about these two squads before we get into it. Hello and welcome back. We told you it would not be long. We got the EGFC Week 3 coming at you with more sick rhymes, hopefully. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here joined with Dor. We got my man Juke down there in producer's box, producing it away, making our jobs as casters just so much easier. Dor, how are we doing?
Doing well. I don't know if you've gotten to see the last two matches from tonight, but they have been some incredible plays. This one's a mixed bag, though. Both of these teams, get this, like, what are the odds that this happens, right? Both these teams have only properly played one team, Fairfield. They both 3-0'd Fairfield. I think the only difference is Quinnipiac technically had a bye in week 2, and St. Peter's had a forfeit win in week 1, but they're both super duper unproven. And I think only one of these two can realistically come out looking really solid after week 3, which is weird because normally at week 3, I mean, this is where we see teams really solidify and choose their position, but everything's up in the air for these guys.
Exactly. This week 3, week 4 is really when teams start to pull away from the pack. But as it is, Quinnipiac and St. Peter's University here both played the same team, both had the same results. So there's really nothing to pull from here, given that one had a bye. Like you said, one had the forfeit. So technically, that is, yes, St. Peter's at the +6 map differential with a 2-0, but they have not played the first game. They won it because of the forfeit. This is going to be Lee Chung Tower first. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We've been playing it all night. Somehow we've managed to get Garden first every time as well, which has just been a weird coincidence. But you know what? If it works, it works. There's been plenty of dive played. We've seen a good mixed bag of every composition you could want. People really like the Somber Reaper right now. I think we're not adventurous enough. I think we could be locking in more random bastions and whatnot. But personal preference here. They're playing what's safe. They're playing what they've seen Overwatch League play last. But we're like 2 patches after the last time we saw Overwatch League. I want to see some just ridiculousness thrown in here starting out on Control Center. I'm expecting, well, I don't think the meta's changed here. We're probably going to see Junkrat for either of these sides. Maybe Reaper, Sombra, likely some entries to get out of the gate. I mean, there's a sprinkling of May, but that's a little bit more old school. Outside of that, though, there's not too many map-specific picks for Lijiang Control Center. You're running mostly Brawl with a little bit of mix-up in the DPS now.
I'm with it. You said you guys got Garden every time so far, right?
Yeah, so far it's been all Garden, and yeah, something's mixed up here, but I mean, we've seen Control Center, I think, every series as well. No surprise to see exactly that Brawl locked in. Maja is going with the May, so a little bit, like I said, old school. There's going to be a bit of pressure on Count Ravioli to play this one properly. Positioning as the Reinhardt can be tricky into the May, but once you avoid that wall, you're going to be at a huge advantage because Nachos and Sova have locked in a Hanzo Junkrat. Oh my god, I don't want to be the poor main tank playing into that.
Yeah, gonna be have a bad time there for sure. The Reaper showing up grub-wise. The Reaper, we had the Somber Reaper on the other side, but here we go, meeting in the middle. These teams would have it no other way. We're on board with Maja, just icicling away. A lot of that Reinhardt, that's Count Ravioli's shield is going to be melted away from that one. Early picks actually from both. Maja falling for the side of Quinnipiac. Count Ravioli, what a name, on the side of St. Peter's falling. Full 6 though from Quinnipiac, no mercy on the side for St. Peter's. Maywall is up, Maja has been getting these in all day long. Rez falling, and this is Quinnipiac with a handed first team fight win.
Yeah, we said the weight was on the main tank to stay alive up against the May, and he didn't manage to. An awkward rotation around point kind of ruined their plans there. On the bright side, they've at least charged up a Dragon Strike, which will be the first ultimate up on board for either of these teams, so it should give them the space to work with to at least push in on this engage.
Ooh, Cookie barely getting there beforehand. I was like literally watching the 96 in the top left and like the 94 or something, but yes, Cookie getting that damage first, but both ultimates on board for either side. Damage ultimate on the side left, that's St. Peter's, and what a headshot. Cookie, you're not going to get a Valkyrie that way. Now the Dragon's
could be
out.
huge.
Right down the middle as well. Left in the lurch is G Greco. Trying to come back on here, Broccoli giving the assisted speed boost, but that's not going to be enough. A glowing Junkrat is a bad rat. Trying to get these shots in, looking for Broccoli on the other side. Does have sound barrier, but not quite time to use that one yet. Now on board with Grub here, looking around, trying to get back. Anna and Junkrat going to be his focus for right now, but out comes back. Blizzard out, freezing out members, and Quinnipiac has held on to this. Here comes the tire, though. That's Nachos taking out Maja on the back. Sound barrier dropping. That's Quinnipiac, good for the time being, but as soon as that ends, Cookie falls. Maja's got the res out, but only one support for the side of Quinnipiac. That's Lucio. Now they have win. Regardless, doesn't matter. If you need a main support to win a team fight, nobody told Quinnipiac.
I mean, Quinnipiac, right? It's great that they won that fight, but St. Peter's, not only did they lose the fight, they lost their entire ult bank. They've been robbed quite literally blind. The only thing they've got going into this is a Shatter, and it's wishful thinking to try and say that one's going to connect. You're running into a Graviton and a Death Blossom. Granted, there's no support ultimate on the opposite side. That's the only good thing you could say about their odds right now.
That's Clam with the nano boost soon. Nacho's punished for his aggression early. Grab out. Grub not willing to quite yet. Shatter down, not gonna matter. Putting a little Death Blossom flower on top of this cake.
Yeah, that looked like a clean point for Quinnipiac. The recontest to prevent St. Peter's from getting entered percentage was nice. Clam cleaning up. Mages looked like a monster on the May so far. And honestly, I think St. Peter's can do a little bit more to counterplay it, whether that's breaking walls faster, whether that's pushing in more concisely as a team. Lucky and Lucio tends to help out a little bit with that. Makes you group up, makes you move in past that wall a little bit quicker. But another way of getting around that wall is by bringing yourself to a map where the May just doesn't work nearly as well. Welcome, ladies and gents, to Lijiang Garden, home of Dive, contesting this point for 10 damn minutes straight. Greco and Firewolf have locked in the classic Winston Diva dive, and they will be all over this thing. If they manage to capture it first, they should be able to hold on to it for a very solid amount of time.
I gotta say, gotta back up what you said there. This is a Quinnipiac squad that is extremely mobile outside of the Majime. It doesn't really just seem thematical there, I suppose. Grub will be getting in chip damage in the back, flanks a galore. But, like you said, sticking with the May. See how it goes. Grub on the flank, getting shots in. Nacho's not going up top quite yet. This Pharmacy combination will see no hit scan opposition on the other side throughout this. Now, more than halfway up there, Quinnipiac taking this with almost no oppression whatsoever. Nacho's just continuing on with these shots. Quinnipiac all over this one.
Now, I was trying to figure out for a second, how is Maja gonna get value on this May right now? And then I realized that he doesn't play May like a May. And honestly, I did this whenever I was playing in TESPA during some of the collegiate tournaments. You just play the May like a main tank. You get up there, you make space, you have an ice block, and you play like you've got plenty of health to go. And right now, they've got plenty of health, plenty of time. Broccoli even, nice little two-piece to end things. A lot of bonus ultimate charge as well for Quinnipiac. This is going to keep them fueled for almost the entirety of the point. You could get yourself up to 80% just off this, but don't forget, winning the point back is not going to be clean. They will get a recontest, and they will get the bonus percentage off that as well.
You know, I just realized there are food names all over this place. We got nachos and clam on the side of St. Peter's, as well as cookie and broccoli over on the right side. Quinnipiac coming through with the healthy food option and the not so healthy food option. Talk about the duality of man. I don't know. 95% for Greco coming in. The defense matrix up top, making sure that Nachos does not get that effect in. Self-destruct out, takes out one. Sova would have died from that one as well. As like you said, Maja just continuing to play that one a little bit differently.
Yeah, this is really clean play from Quinnipiac so far. Honestly, color me impressed. I mean, you mentioned the food earlier. I think it's about time we mention Clam. Yes. Apparently the name is because his family owns a mollusk farm. And you can tell they actually do because he calls it a mollusk farm and not a clam farm. Like, this guy knows his stuff. Clearly, the clammy hands are not coming to show. He seems calm, cool, and collected. But they got to win this push.
I'm with it. Yeah, no invertebrate slugs on this one. Wow, yeah, so Firewolf getting all the attention in the world he is not like after Nachos and Sova switching onto these hit scans, getting a lot of value. Tracer now forced to come back a little bit. Sova gets that flashbang actually blocked out by a well-placed bubble on that one. Grub actually got down to one. Not sure if anybody saw that. I got a frame in there. Got down to actual one on the Tracer. 6-1 on point. Shatter out. St. Peter's taken down, and I do believe this is going to be a handed 2-0 for Quinnipiac.
Wow, shout out Cookie. That was a big res down in the last fight. I mean, St. Peter's, they had already moved past and everything. I think there was actually a jump over the center portion of the point in order to get on top of the body to get the res off. So, really good style points. I mean, Mercy's not known as particularly mechanically intense character, but sneaking in there is like, it's no small feat. That's to say the least.
I'm with it. As a Lucio main myself, this just simply does my heart good. That was the double as well. Yeah, so got a little bit of damage on there at the end, but it was mostly those two big boops. That's just what's going to happen when you come across those garden bridges, man.
And so far, Quinnipiac's looking really solid, and by really solid, I mean like these guys are going to be giving St. Peter's a rough time. Maja's May is quite on point, I've got to say, especially for the playstyle they're going for. If you're going to run Mei with other things like that, the game plan's very different from running Mei with something like, say, Mei McCree when you were running with Brawl before, or if you're playing prior into GOAT, something like that, where you're sticking with a team, you're looking for a wall for your Reinhardt, you're sitting right up next to him. No, you need to be a one-man army of a Mei, and you need to be shot calling the team. Which is a weird thing. Normally you see tanks making those decisions, deciding who to target, deciding where to go, deciding what to dive. When you have a Mei, everything's dictated by the Mei. It's the same reason why Reinhardts are usually the shot callers for their team. Reinhardt has the shortest range. He is the limitation. You can only hit things that the Reinhardt can hit, so he should be telling you what to hit. Well, now a Mei is the thing with the shortest range on the team, so your Mei needs to be shot calling, your Mei needs to be telling you what to dive, and they're doing a fantastic job of following up on that.
I'm with it 100%. But the Mahjong Mei was hitting some longer range shots as well. Sent a couple skywards towards this pharmacy combination. I'm honestly kind of surprised that the Nachos Mercy combo up top didn't work a little bit better. We saw a whole-handed switch onto the double hit scan later, but Quinnipiac didn't give up a single of those two maps, anything but 100-0. Did not give up a single percentage. I guess I'm just kind of grasping for straws as to why the pharmacy did not work better.
I think it was a lack of patience more than anything. When you're running spam takes time, right? You need those picks to come through, but they're not going to come through with Run Rocket. They're not going to come through with 2. They come through with you playing the neutral game, holding your ground. And this is why the Brawl composition has the potential to work, is because if the Brawl sits in one place and you say, hey, dive us, dive comes to you, dive's going to die because they use their movement abilities to get to you. But if you close the space on dive, all of a sudden dive has escape abilities instead of engage abilities, which makes it a much better fight for them. All of a sudden they can get out. The Pharah hasn't had any time to actually do anything. So if you take your Brawl composition, allow your Pharah to do work, trust in your farmers, trust in your DPS, and trust in your supports and tanks to maintain that neutral game to allow them to get value, then you'll see value from the Pharah. But they didn't do that. They were antsy. They ran to point quickly. Therefore, their Pharah wasn't really able to get as much value as they wanted.
Yeah. Only so much should be done up top when so much is happening down bottom. That's definitely the case. Hollywood here now. Quinnipiac up 1-0 in the series after a 0-2 win on Lijiang. Took both of those 100-0. We will see how things change here. Mei, the Mahjong Mei, maybe? A lot of alliteration there.
I'm getting the feeling we are not going to see it on this map. It's particularly good when you're running the Brawl on control point. But when it comes to the attacking side, it is no surprise to see it just disappear into the drift. Hollywood, what a fun map. I've been loving casting this lately. The elevator changes are too much fun, Tug. I mean, you didn't see it. You were busy casting on the other stream. But we saw a 6-man stack on one elevator and then just rocket up to the high ground. It was hilarious. And honestly, I would pay to see it again. I doubt I will, but it definitely does change a lot, right? This map's traditionally been played, you know, whatever on the first point you feel like running, and then dive on the second, because you just have to control that high ground. But with those elevators being so much more consistent, you're offered up things like Soldier, Ana, Ashe, Ryan, and Zarya can actually go up there and contest if they want to. It opens up the door for so much more, and this map's become so much more flexible for it. We will see, though, Quinnipiac lock in the tried and true dive this time. Maja on an Ashe. There's some damage potential here, especially when you throw a Mercy into the mix.
Well, it got down to 30 on that one. Wasn't able to get that out now. Yeah, that was, okay, sorry. Yeah, that was just a defense matrix. Nice little save on that one. Solid shots on Wither Broccoli. He is spitting them out here. Super low is the Greco Diva off on the side here. Now switching targets. Giving the necessary interaction here, though. Like, it's about consistent pressure. Zarya in the back. Just getting absolutely wasted down by this Firewolf, Winston, and the Grub Tracer combination. Tracer did fall in the thick of things there. The res was attempted by Cookie, I believe, there, but it's going to be Min who got it down. Now 2 members of Quinnipiac on point. They've gotten their first tick now, but this one is no guarantee as far as the rest of it.
Yeah, it was a solid, consistent push by Quinnipiac. They pushed back St. Peter's, gave a little bit too much space. It's the same issue that they had over on the control point, where they weren't allowing their DPS time to actually get those picks in, especially if you're running a Junkrat and an Echo. They need time to get picks, and if your Reinhardt just backs up onto point, they don't have the space to get those picks or to work out on those supports. So you can see that change up a little bit, especially here on the next point. They haven't positioned anybody up on this high ground, which is a little bit rough. Sova's up there now, but it's definitely going to be hard to deny this dive value.
Yeah, as soon as that, he just comes right back down. No shots from above for this Junkrat, not here today. Lots of reses on board here, or lots of ultimates on board for St. Peter's. Now the dive in. We're barely getting away from that one. The Tracer being the duplicate target. Nicely done. Maja following up top. No Ash for you guys for the time being. Now Nachos gets the shots out and then a stick. Only a couple of seconds left on the Tracer. Duplicate for right now. Not going to matter. A fantastic usage of that ultimate if there ever was one, Nachos.
Yeah, good stabilization here by St. Peter's, and honestly just a really good neutral game by Nachos, maintaining that, making the difference in the fight. I think Quinnipiac knew they were going to lose, back off, and now they've got 5 ultimates to push this.
Definitely a advantage position for the side of Quinnipiac right now. Getting out of dodge is Sova. Knows that he can't get these shots in. Now here comes the tire rolling in, chooses the Diva, and yeah, that makes sense. The Primal Raging Winston would not have been going so quietly into the night. Gets up top quickly as Maja's now looking for that chip damage, a little damage over time, and he's not even going to need it. Lions up, Clam on the other side, and shuts him down.
Oh, Quinnipiac are pushing beautifully. They got to be careful they don't get too big for their britches here, though. One more pick, and they'll be feeling pretty good, but they're also so far up that the picks could go the other way. Finally regrouping with the team on the cart now, though. All they've got to win this one is a trance, which, if the shatter is big, might actually save them.
A second duplicate out already. Nacho's getting that one very quickly. Ending up not 1 but 2 supports with the help of Nacho's, with the help of his Mercy on that one. That was a damage boost action. Min now following it, trying to get up close and defense with the rest of his team.
Yeah, it's a weird disengage from Quinnipiac. I think the health bars were just a little bit low. They were a bit uncomfortable. They could have re-engaged that with the Transcendence, but I think they're trying to hold on to it for this Graviton Surge. That's going to be coming up in about 10%. 4-count Ravioli, which is perfectly reasonable. This fight's going to be about dead even. Nachos and Sova, though, they have the big advantage now of being able to play from this high ground.
So 4-count Ravioli. Sorry, you said 4-count Ravioli, and I was like, 4-count? I don't know what that means. I'm not sure if that's a food item at a fast food place or something. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on this. Swinging away is Greco, but Rez is right there on the Reinhardt. Gets a Discord Orb against him and is not able to keep things up through the thick. Maja, excuse me. Getting some solid damage in from a distance as well with the Ash. Broccoli all over this one still, isn't even forced to use his trans. A big burst on that one, and Quinnipiac's gonna get rewarded with a little bit of time on this one.
That's exactly what you're looking for. I mean, the first point was clean, the second point even cleaner. These guys are looking just as dialed as they were in the first one. I feel like St. Peter's are just struggling to hold space, right? And it's not necessarily for a lack of ability thing. I think it's more a lack of confidence than anything else. They just don't feel like they're allowed to hold the space, and you know, the times they've gotten obliterated by a Discord Orb, so of course you do need to be careful in doing that, but I'm absolutely certain that Ravioli, Rez, Min, and Clam can actually hold their ground if they wanted to.
There's the Coalescence off top first, Firewolf out. Cookie looks like, you know, he's going with the rest of the team. No Rez coming in from them quite yet. Super aggressive as we go. Count Ravioli up in the front. Hit Fire Strike on that might have led to a down main tank for the side of Quinnipiac, but now coming on back, no need to fight this one quite yet. Source of damage gone from both sides. Sova, Grub both falling, but the Rez is in there for Sova. Junkrat is back. Bob out, Bob charging on the corner there. Lots of damage out. Tire trying to make a corner and does take out Majid there at the end. Bob, if his falling for the last second, shatters from both sides, and that's a lot of St. Peter's kills, Dor.
Yeah, it's a really awkward fight now. Nachos is going to completely turn it in their favor, though, as I think Quinnipiac are respecting this Reinhardt a little bit too much, but they're happy to go back to spawn because it's so close. They just wait that one out, push back in. Now they're the ones with an ultimate advantage. The Trance will get them through the Graviton, and the Valkyrie will follow up. Meanwhile, St. Peter's, well, the Graviton's the only trick they've got up their sleeve.
Broccoli has not tossed this yet, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Grab now out. Oh no, that's a stuck Tracer. Hate to see it. Sova and Grove fall the exact same time from the exact same players again at the very same part in this team fight at the very beginning. Grab on board for Count Ravioli, but Rez is the one who falls. Got caught up there, maybe on the Sova trap. Not 100% sure, but Coalescence now used by Clam to keep this alive for the time being. Grab out. Grab only finds one. The counter grab, and Broccoli was waiting for this one.
Quinnipiac, not only have they done a fantastic job in that fight, they've also gained so much passive cart distance. I mean, last time you checked, this cart was another 30 meters back, so the amount of value they've gotten is insane. But Rez and his Echo are not done yet. Not in with another big one. It's a clean up set of 3 from Sova, but you know what? You can put it up on the fridge.
Nachos now. Okay, sorry. I thought he was in regular
wait.
form.
Oh no,
That's
it's just Nachos. Oh, never mind.
okay,
I saw Reinhardt shatter through a wall, and I started to worry for a second. I thought the fat finger came in. Wasted ult aside though. Quinnipiac still have some in their back pocket. Maja and the Bob have been critical so far. I don't think I've seen one not give value at this point. The only thing St. Peter's have is going to be a shatter of their own design. Honestly, shattering the Bob on the way in could be the right play here, and honestly could catch more value than they might even think.
Maja's a hair's breadth. There you go. Now has the Bob. Bob coming out instantly, perfectly cornered out, and that's behind main tank and main support. Lots of damage, but that's that second shatter that's gonna count. Everybody falling to Rez on this one. Mercy trying to get out of dodge. That's going to be easier said than done. No, did get a Guardian Angel back. Rez coming through, and they allow it. Okay, so Rez on the Firewolf, and he's ready to get this one started again. 25 seconds. Not necessary. Oh, no, the charge landing, but that's going to put Rez in very bad position. Greco taking out his counterpart on this, and now they're backing up.
This is ultimately significantly better for St. Peter's. It's absolutely been the right call to try and get all these stagger kills, but they're going too far for it. This is a waste of space, this is a waste of time. You're fighting a 3 versus 4, 3v5. Now heading in this fight, the one thing you have going for you is maybe, just maybe, Nachos comes in, copies the Rhine, and is huge.
And falling first, Broccoli not able to, Broccoli supporting his team as he gets up there, Sova down as well. Now Nachos goes with the duplicate. Zarya's target for now, and this now I think there's just be a little bit cleanup on a couple different supports. Rez attempted out. Rez does land, so Firewolf's back, but that's a huge one. Everybody but the Zarya affected on that one. Now Tracer and the Soldier 76 back. Grub getting super low. Maga hasn't been touched yet, though. Super low. Now that's the sticky bomb at the end. Not gonna matter. Did not make it all the way.
That last one might have been the best fight that I think we've seen from St. Peter's. They played extremely well, even though they were down at a disadvantage. Came back with who they knew the target focus was on. The ultimates were perfectly timed. The duplicate onto the Zarya was simply to save the Echo's life. She just grabbed the highest health thing that they could see on their screen and prayed. But it worked out just fine. Like I said, Rez was able to do plenty enough on the Reinhardt. Now, though, let's see what they have for the attacking side. Of course, the door is open for them to try and go ahead and complete this map. And look, man, I've heard a lot of door puns in my day. None of them are good. I've stopped trying. You know what? If you want, DM me them on Twitter or whatever. Do your best. I've probably heard it before, though, especially for my competitive teammates. And I just sigh and am disappointed.
The better door than a window. I'm sure you've heard that one as well.
Oh, yep. Well, that's where the name came from. Yeah, long story. That's where it came from.
I got time. I'm not going anywhere.
Look, man. I mean, everyone does the same stuff as a kid. You just stand in front of your dad when he's trying to watch TV. He makes a joke. So I just went with it. I just rolled with it. You know. As soon
as you finish the first half of that sentence, I know exactly where your tag came from. Yep, I'm with it.
Anyways, let's take a look at these compositions real quick, Tokski. It is Maja and Grub locking in a boatload of damage for Quinnipiac, and I kind of like this. St. Peter's are opting for something very similar, but I think the Ana is going to be a bit more effective on the defensive side. They on the more, it offers up a nano boost to give Greco an even bigger advantage in this Reinhardt battle that's been a little bit favored towards Rez towards the end of that push. But either way, both these teams have a lot of damage. These are very volatile compositions, and when a fight is won, you're going to know it.
Postured up here is Quinnipiac. Ryan playing this perfect, like, kind of side off left position. Doesn't want to be super vulnerable. Doesn't want to look straight down the lane, but just like that, Greco's shield not going to last too long through that. Sova looking for a nasty head. He gets a body of his own. That was a damage boosted one as well from Maja. Cookie there. Get that done. Oh, he's at 1. He's like literal 1. Headshot on the Nachos there at the end. No echo for this guy. Wait. That's Min healing Rez. Rez, you know what you've done by placing your name as that, by the way. 50% is the contribution from Grub up top. Rez is there.
Hey,
Headshot
look,
onto Count Reverioli. Yep, no, yep. This is true. This is what's happening to me right now. Grub up top. Yeah, Cookie has been doing a great job getting all over this point, providing heals for anybody. Maja would have fallen in the Sova 1v1 up top earlier had that not been the case, as it is Quinnipiac holding strong.
Yeah, and this is kind of the difficult part. Pushing in with this kind of a DPS composition is tough because your tanks have to make space for you. Otherwise, you're fighting into the other DPS who have arguably a far better position. Holy whiff on that shatter from Greco as well. Fight's still dead even, though.
Yeah, so, yeah, Greco just happened to fall there at the very, very end. Everybody saw it coming and got out of dodge and away from this corner, knowing the grab, or the shatter was coming, excuse me. Sova, an unwanted guess in this home, but that Mercy barely gets away. Nicely done. Sova getting a lot of damage, a lot of attention. Mercy is there. Now that Valkyrie's got the last little bit left. Nicely done. That might be the opening up pick right here because they needed that damage. Yes, Cookie not able to get out. The supports from the side of St. Peter's taking him out.
Yeah, they went into that one 3v3 with the defenders having a spawn advantage, but that one pick secured it all. That arrow alone was huge from Sova.
Arrow of
that
truth.
was aggressive, but they should still get point A regardless. There might be a couple cleanup kills here from Quinnipiac to gain themselves some more ult percentage, but I don't think they realistically need it. It's not worth the risk. And that's right, I am. They're just going to back up, take the high ground. And this is what I want to see all night. Get a Hanzo up there, get an Ashe up there, get an Ana up there, utilize these new elevators to the maximum potential. Ryan Zarya has grown a new pair of legs on this point since the update tug, and they look real limber.
Really, stop by your local general store. See our new elevators here. They've been designed for your convenience. 3 minutes, 40 seconds here as Clam falls to a well-placed headshot. That's Maju just continuing on with that. Nothing, no reason to believe anything different. Now takes out his counterpart with the assistance from his friends. That's Broccoli on the other side, giving a good bit of support on that. Yeah, an Ana who can land long-range shots like that is a good Ana. Shatter out.
I dig that shatter. That's about Tug. Let me tell you something. I played a lot of quick play in my time. That one's about sending a message. That one.
There you go. I will shatter you within spitting distance of your spawn room. Yep, I'm with it.
Absolutely. See what they got now, though. It's duplicated Reinhardt up for Nachos, and oh my god, balls to the walls. That should get burnt down almost immediately.
Oh!
Extra shield, throwing in a dragon over top, and you've got a recipe for success.
That is exactly what they needed. That second shield came through in just the nick of time. Perfect stuff there, focusing beam, does a little bit of cleanup action on this. Nachos continues to win team fights almost single-handedly.
Yeah, Nachos is the Echo. Actually, is insane. And you know what's crazy? It's not necessarily the Echo. It's more about all the things they duplicate on Echo.
Oh!
But notably, it's about how quickly they get the duplicate up as well, which Nachos has had it, I mean, virtually every single fight. Quinnipiac aren't out of this one yet, though. They've got a Bob to try and peel away from this grab, which is going to be super duper helpful, right? You can't drop the shield when there's a Bob in your face. As well, the Valkyrie will hail them up. So they've got a solid chance at recontesting this, but not if Sova finds it first.
This Nova, or no, my goodness, Sova striking back on against the Majo 1v1. That's Hanzo battle has been back and forth. Rez is out there. Great hangs there by Min to stay alive for the time being. Does get the Rez out against Rez. Man, oh man. But just like that, rest of St. Peter's cleaning up here on point.
Good to see them hold on to the Graviton boost, but I think it's just after that first pick. You gotta count that one out, so to speak. Quite literally. But at least they have it going into the next fight. Quinnipiac realistically don't have anything to counter it as well. Nachos is coming up on another duplicate, which just starts to feel like a game-winning ultimate at this point whenever it's in their hands. Especially damage boosted up by this Mercy. There's a huge opportunity, a huge open door for St. Peter's to walk through. They just got to press their Q button and get on in there, but they should be all right.
Grab Dragons isn't far away. Maja falling up top grants the side of St. Peter's just all the... Never mind. The Nacho's just kind of taking a snooze on point after a very well-placed Broccoli sleep dart. A lot of sideways damage here from Quinnipiac. Count Ravioli trying to get on over there. Grav is on board. That'll be out soon, but a great job from Quinnipiac from spacing out, not leaving themselves vulnerable to that until two tanks double up. Nacho's on the other side. It's pretty high up in there, and there's a grab early as well. The Dragons attempted, not gonna live through it. Nacho's still staying alive as the Nano came onto this run. Never mind.
Rez.
Yes, that was very impressive. Rez from Cookie in the middle of things as that was, yeah, Greco actually used the solo shatter, but that was necessary to win team fight, right?
The chance for a recontest there from St. Peter's. They wanted to continue to push that, but it was completely taken away when that Rez came through the main tank, came back up, and now Nachos is getting farmed by Grub. Fantastic stuff. We just played full role swap as well, and Maja's onto a soldier, which again utilizes his high ground extremely well. If they can get their hands on it, another Bob is up for Grub, which is a tried and true fight-winning ultimate for them at this point. There's so much here for Quinnipiac to try and put a final stop to this push.
There's the touch. The grab will be there soon. There's Firewolf's grabs. There's the Dragons. Moment of truth. Greco falling. Broccoli falling suit. Clam being the only one down for the side of St. Peter's. Firewolf also, but just like that, do you believe we have the winners of our team fight here? That's Quinnipiac. Excuse me, I spoke too soon. Count Ravioli back. Grub just getting absolutely swarmed by Nachos. Grub first, Cookie second. St. Peter's holding on here.
Oh, Maja's
we have the Zarya back.
No!
Maja falling. Super low, both tanks. Firewolf trying to get back here. Broccoli trying to wear out shots. Are landing up for the time being. Firewolf gets away from it. Greco down. Now Broccoli is the last one, last bastion. And that's going to be St. Peter's rolling on into second point. Going to get themselves a minute and a half, 90 seconds on this one. That's their reward.
There's still a long way to go, and honestly, that fight was as close as it could ever be. If Broccoli got back just a couple seconds sooner, that goes an entirely different direction. Now, though, it's all about St. Peter's. What kind of staggers can they find? Because remember, Quinnipiac got to push most of this distance for free through just passive cart pushing. Yep. St. Peter's playing passive. I doubt Quinnipiac are going to give them the same amount of room.
Notches, Rez, they got the Meteor Strike, got the Shatter there. Minmin close to it. I have to wonder if those two be the pair, if they'll try and let the same kind of passive card push come through. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Here comes first. There's the Shatter. Coming down, he's saying hello. Rez falls to a well-placed purple nade on this one. The Rez comes through. Rez is up again. The Reinhardt that will not fall. Greco is here. Greco is very low. No shields for him as Sova and Greco both fall. 1 for 1 on either team. Chasing down a Mercy is what Reinhardt's just do. Now rolling in here. St. Peter's.
Like we might just even this one up. The only thing they have is the Visor trying to do this, but Count Raviolian's Graviton could just pull everybody off guard. There might not even be a chance to contest this. 95%. There will be a contest, but again, it's got no weight to it. Nachos on the Doomfist just gets to go to town now. And with 9 seconds on the clock, they've got it. How does Cookie do it?
Just consistently trying and always getting it in there. No, far away! And they come off a point the last second. The charge was coming off, so that was going to be expected, right? Like the Reinhardt was not there. It would have been a tall order to expect a Soldier 76 to do all that by himself, even with players coming back, so.
So, from Quinnipiac, St. Peter's is going to even up the scoreline here. And honestly, this series looks closer than any of the others we've seen tonight. And I think a large part of that is due to Nachos. First 2 points, entirely due to this Echo just going off and going to town. Rezos came through from both sides, and that's what makes me think this is just, it's a weird slugfest, right? They're just going back and forth. No one's really trying to play necessarily defense or reactive to one another. They've both got their game plans. They're both going to go for them whether the other one likes it or not. And it's kind of just a toss as who's going to have the player pop off and win the fight.
Straight up. This was, I think, in most ways decided by DPS as Nachos really being the guy coming through for St. Peter's and just a lot of ways. And maybe that's how our tactical shooters here should end up being, right? Should end up being with the DPS is kind of deciding by the picks that they two take. But yeah, St. Peter's, Quinnipiac, tying it up, basically purchasing themselves a best of 3 after these first 2 games. I do believe we're going to go to a very short break and be back with you guys in just a little bit. Get these 2 teams time to think about it and see what they want to do. And we are back, Overwatch fans. FBI Tugboat joined with my man Door. Oh, other way. My man Door. Real quick, you didn't see that. And we got Juke down there in Producer's Box producing away here for the third week of the EGFC. That is the Electronic Gaming Confederation.
Confederation.
Not Confederation. The Electronic Gaming Federation, not Confederation. Federation. C is the collegiate. There's also high school stuff going on as well.
Yeah, all sorts of good stuff going on right now. But Quinnipiac versus St. Peter's is a good matchup we've got going on. Apologies, everybody, for my camera. We're just going to default to my logo. It's beautiful. I designed it myself. And it doesn't emote at all or anything. But you can still hear me, and that's what really counts, as well as the fact that we're going over to Volskaya Industries, and the series is all tied up. Quinnipiac won. St. Peter's won. Oh, wow. This is production value. This is, wow.
There you go.
It's centered.
It's centered. There you go. It's there you go. Now that's centered. There you go. Keep messing with it though. I know.
I think he's shaking it to make it look like I'm talking.
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah, it's like
I get it. There
okay.
It's the animation. Yeah, it's the talking animation. What if I could put like over here? Do it over here.
Can I just need I need to turn it on its side and put some googly eyes over it, and we're sold.
There you go.
We're there.
Only if the googly eyes like stay at the bottom, like they're gravity based or whatever, and so he moves it, and they just like do one of these back and forth. Anyway, Volskaya next, tied up 1-1 across the first series. This is Quinnipiac taking game number 1. That was Lijiang Tower. And then game number 2 going the way of St. Peter's after some really impressive Nachos plays and more. It's a team-based game. 3-2 being the scoreline for that game. Volskaya Industries coming at you soon. What are we looking at? What are we going to be expecting?
Up some weird stuff, right? What we need to see are teams taking decisive fight wins. And I've seen that from both of these teams, which worries me because the other week I saw 8 rounds of, not 8 rounds, or 4 rounds,
well, okay,
eight sides of Volskaya played in Contenders Trials, which was quite the hour-long experience, but...
Yeah, 8 rounds. Yeah. And once you talk about Contenders, just my eyes, bam. Okay, wow, I'm listening. 8 rounds. That's that in of itself would be a very, very long day of Overwatch, would it not?
No, it can be quite the map, especially with teams that are good at finishing it. Especially when teams throw defense out the window, and both of these teams seemed especially good on the attack when they're trying to make the aggressive move, when they're the ones being the deciders of fights. They're deciding them, and they're deciding them quickly. So no one's getting left alive. There's no big staggers coming out from either side. They're winning. They're following up. They're finding all of the frags they can need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they're getting their value. And so turning the momentum around is going to be the difficult part because, well, you only have to win 2 fights realistically to take away a 2 CP map.
I'm with it. The name of the game here, we've been talking about it before, and we'll talk about it again. Grub, Maja, Nachos, Sova, these are the defining factors of this game. Not that the tank support's been playing poorly whatsoever, but just the pop-off have come through from Grub, Maja, Nachos, and Sova. Again, the 4 DPS across St. Peter's and then Quinnipiac, respectively. There have been so many individual instances where there's just a pendulum swing. It can go either way. Literally, nobody with a clear advantage, and then one of these two just pops off, gets some really well-placed shots in, well thought-out Junkrat trap even. So just some wonk sometimes is what I'm saying. Even some crazy stuff happens, but the maintaining under pressure being the name of the game for these 4 DPS.
Yep, and honestly, it's not much of a surprise to me to see Maja lock in the May again. It won on the first map regardless of what they were playing, and they're hoping it's going to win them. Another one here on the 3rd at Volskaya. It's pretty good at shutting down this main choke, and honestly, it's going to be the defining factor for the majority of this map, especially if they continue to play it on the attacking side. However, that May doesn't get value, then you've got Nachos and Sova coming at you with a boatload of damage. Back on the tried and true Echo. I like this to move in, especially since you can go over top of the choke point here. Ignore that May a little bit, but the Ashe is going to be causing you problems for a while.
Yeah, we've already seen what Grub can do. He's got the sights in it already. There's the fireworks to start off this damage over time. And Maja almost finds him a good pick after going fishing on that one. Little ice fishing, we could call that. Now, tension switching on over to the Sova Hanzo, and as soon as it does, he is forced to come back. So a minor win in and of itself. Sova looking for Zarya's, now deciding that that's way better to use the burst arrows up top. Grub trying to get the res on in there, and the charge off the side. Little Reinhardt for Reinhardt. They'll make that trade every day of the week, twice on Sundays, Door.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing. Maybe that's the right choice, but you forgot they're running another tank, and it's got a name. It's Satan. No, pardon me, May.
Saint May.
It's working perfectly.
Saint May, I'm with it.
Yeah, Saint May. Yeah, we'll give him benefit of the doubt and not call him a demonic entity. But the way he plays it, it makes it look like it. He is still alive, still going to town on this point, and the Reinhardt will be back for a 6v6.
I'm laughing because I feel Door's pain. May has been a thorn in the side of any kind of reliable, logical player since the beginning of Overwatch. Now Rez getting all the attention in the world. Rez got super low on the end there. Greco down as well. And a duplicated Lucio. I love it. There are 3 Lucios on the board. No, there's not 3 Lucios on the board right now. I can't count. I'm the play-by-play. I don't have to. Now Gaucho's trying to get aggressive here. Does have that sound barrier, causing that at the very, very end, but doesn't get it down before he dropped. Not going to be a big deal. This was not a contested team fight, but still.
That's what I was talking about, Tug. When they win the fights, they win them clean. Like, there's nobody on the point that can test this realistically. The other one with the Reinhardt going off was a little bit weird, but a good disengage and a good re-engage from the attackers wins them the point. And that's all it's going to take to get through the second one as well. The question is, how many attempts does it actually take to get there? Right now, looking like it might be a couple because Quinnipiac has some devastating ults loaded up, especially with this Graviton and Bob.
Yeah, 5 minutes. You should sit down and get comfortable. Door will be here for a while. Shots and attention coming from Grub up top. That Echo getting down very, very low. Now Dynamite out. Chipping in damage. This is a shield that is not long for this world. Rez on the other side has the shatter, but that's Greco landing it. Getting damage on a not one but 2 tanks, swinging away on the last. The Mercy gets there at the last second, and Greco is put down for his aggression. Maja there, wall up, doesn't connect on the other side though, so blue players still going to be able to get on the other, or red players still going to be able to get on the other side. A lot of headshots. Broccoli looking unstoppable on this one. Maja with a headshot as well. All red hit markers in the kill feed.
That was a really good grab from Firewolf. A tricky one to use. It's bordering on panic grab, right? You're getting pushed back. You don't want to throw it in while your teammates are dead, but no. They push back at just the right time with the grab to feel that fight out, and it gets them a win. But now St. Peter's are pushing in with 4 more ultimates of their own. However, Quinnipiac, if they keep pushing like this, if they keep finding little picks, they could even up those ult numbers, and honestly, they're not even in a bad position to begin with because that Blizzard can be so devastating. Oh, no.
Yep, classic Maja wall. May is up, Ryan is down. That's, again, that is a tried and true mathematical equation on that one. Fantastic job. But these 2 CPs will open it up for, you know, the May walls a lot as well. So coming back here, glowing almost entirely is Quinnipiac. Clam is the only one that doesn't have coalescence.
Yeah, it's honestly going to be just a 5 ult. But you know what they say? 6 ultimates and you lose the fight. 5 ultimates, you've got a chance for whatever reason. It just seems to be cursed to be that way. Again, though, I don't want to put Quinnipiac out of this. If a big sound barrier comes out from Broccoli, they've got a pretty solid chance of being able to hold on to this. Not to mention the fact that a pick could come through at any point in time here.
Yeah, so Quinnipiac playing a solid little defense so far, but them allowing this to go without really starting this team fight is now allowing the side of Quinnipiac to get some. The Dragons out first, Firewall down, big charge onto Clam as the sound barrier landing. Greco swinging away and getting a lot from it. Mostly the man of the hour here is Grub though. Some solid shots, Nachos with the shatter at the end, but this is just going to be a little bit of attempted stall and cleanup action. That defense has won.
Yeah, it's a solid push, but like I said, Quinnipiac has so many defensive tools between the May, the Sound Barrier, the Blizzard. St. Peter's just couldn't close the distance like they wanted to get all the damage in. Now swapping over to a Junkrat, they're hoping they can spam through. Their plan here is likely either to play the Junkrat up towards the top right high ground, maybe move up the elevator since that's been changed as well, to get around the May wall to begin the fight. Alternately, they can use it to break the May wall and get their Reinhardt in. Either way, this Junkrat might just help out a little bit.
Yeah, only needed to delete, what, one of the, I think, 4 pillars technically that is up width-wise to get all the way through. Damage so far being focused towards this Reinhardt shield. That's Greco on the other side there. Count Ravioli has nothing towards the laser so far. He did come back recently, but as the grab on board, we'll definitely want to get that laser up a little bit farther. Fire strikes and more. Throw Junkrat nades as well. That's not going to be a decent the situation. Coalescence out, grabbing the middle, blocked off by the Maywall, and Majo's Maywall leads to the death, doom, and delirious destruction of Rez. Greco, as well as Nachos, continues to keep his eyes on the prize. No more echo for this, guys. This is all Ash.
Yeah, this one is definitely over for the defenders. St. Peter's are wasting time by sitting around here, and I mean, this junk just needs to die. So just get out, bud. I don't care how it is, whether that's a one-way ticket bet. Wait, okay, I thought he actually got out for a second. He has no right living from there, but now he's wasted a lot of time. With 45 seconds on the clock, time is of the essence.
Really is. Rest of St. Peter's looking to get on into this one. They took the dub in game number 2, looking to keep that progression alive. I'm writing a new team sheet right quick. There you go. Okay. Maja Blizzard, 2 support ultimates up. Grub to Bob soon. They're in a very good position. These are extremely varied ultimates. The Sound Bay are out, and that just completely negates Sova's junk or Riptire there at the end. Blizzard out. The shatter or the charge landing nowhere. Rez out. Now left in the lurch, frozen out and headshotted. It's absolutely abused, disrespected, and everything in between. 2 seconds left, and nobody is gonna touch on that one.
Nope, and what a hold from Quinnipiac. We said that when the fights are won, they're won cleanly, and honestly, it was Quinnipiac winning them cleanly all day. It didn't matter how many ultimate St. Peter's had. They just couldn't break past this May. Maja is causing so many problems in these choke points, and that's the thing. It may not be great on the entirety of Volskaya, but Maja's only got to be good on one part for them to hold for 4 minutes.
Yep. Looking at the beginning of this, they just set themselves up for success, Door.
Well, success hasn't been found yet. Still got some time, but it's a tall order, right? The only thing that I think is really going to save them here is likely a first point hold. But first point holds on Volskaya are few and far between, to say the least. Locking in some interesting DPS picks, though, are Nachos and Sova. The rest of the team going with relatively standard stuff from what we've seen. I like the pick of the Mercy, put it in the back pocket of this Soldier 76, get him doing some serious damage from the high ground. Also offers a pocket to the Reinhardt when you don't have an Ana sitting around to do exactly that. Quinnipiac is in a weird place, right? They want to run a Lucio to help out their Reinhardt. They want to run a Mercy to help out their DPS. Like, you see the pieces there, but this team can't agree on what it wants to do, right? Grub wants to spam things out, wants to put people under pressure, and Broccoli wants to close the distance as fast as possible. Those are inherently add-ons because, I mean, you close the distance, you're not going to give the people time to actually spam anything out. So how they play this one is going to be interesting, especially considering that not only do they have kind of 2 things at odds, but also the fact that there just isn't that much healing between the Lucio and the Mercy.
Yeah, and even Maja on the Soldier 76, not exactly something that you can rely on. On the other side, they're looking at a Maywall, they're looking at a projected and personal bubble from the Zarya, and they're looking at that Reinhardt shield. 2 main supports as well, be a tall order. 1 tank down for both sides. Sova falling in his Mayhem grenades, actually taking out Greco. Greco choosing the wrong place to try to rest out on that one. Now Maja, longer range shots, try rockets as well. And now he's forced to come all the way back. Are those called Vortex rockets?
Helix rockets.
Helix rockets. I knew there was an X in there.
Dude, though, it's a fairly neutral game right now. St. Peter's not wanting to move off this point. They don't have a main tank to push off with. But every time Quinnipiac get close, you also risk losing yourself to the Zarya. As it's such high charge. It's the main tank back, though, for Quinnipiac. The Reinhardt pushing in. Greco, though, already low. So much damage being thrown his way, and St. Peter's are pushing in with a barrage of ultimates of their own.
There's the shatter landing just in the nick of time. They wanted to get that Firewolf Rosaria out of here. Supercharged. They don't want it on their point. Grub being the only one alive, the only thing separating St. Peter's from one of their first team kill bills.
Now it's a Blizzard up against the World, but with the way that Maja's been playing, that Blizzard feels like it could just be the end of days. Yeah. I'm curious who gets the res off here. So Grub is definitely not going to be. Minmin gets one up, which is 6v5 for St. Peter's on the defense, but Quinnipiac, they're still pushing into this. I think it's the right decision. There's nothing that can really contest them up on this high ground for the time being. It also gets you out and around that May. Dropping off the high ground is a lot easier than trying to play through one of those choke points, but you also open yourself up to this Blizzard.
No. Yeah, so fantastic opportunity here from Nachos, realizing that team was coming up. Blizzard's out. Blizzard gets just about everybody. Now, all up trying to negate what Firewolf can do. Sova falling first. The aimbot shots over the side, super low, and oh, Maja just threaded the needle on that. Gave him the Helix rockets to get absolutely the last little bit of damage on that one. Minute and a half left, blue all over this one, and I'll say that Quinnipiac at least deserves it for no other reason than Maja. Shout out to our production for getting that shot.
That's exactly what we needed to see what was going on, but Quinnipiac needed that to get through the rest of the map. Now they've got a lot of snowball potential, Tug. Sova's only got a tire to try and deny this one. Count Ravioli maybe gets his Graviton up in time to start working with it. But there's only one real support ultimate online, and that's going to be Broccoli's Sound Barrier, giving Quinnipiac a huge advantage to push in and try and snowball this one away and take the map.
Yeah, it would maybe force out the tire from Sova, but again, Tall Order trying to get damage all the way through a Sound Barrier that has just dropped. Grav as well, might be parrying that one, but have to get aggressive with this one is Quinnipiac now. Rounded round, Sova coming through the back. That's one shot, but didn't get the second one on there. Grabs out, supercharges Firewolf. Now he's got a target. Lots of red members falling. That St. Peter's half down now. Have the Valkyrie up top. Mini-Meek is helping out. Firewolf getting super low, but now that's Clan Min just absolutely getting what they need to done on there. Tire out, Grub down, Grub about 70% ult, not gonna find the rest of that. That's the Sound Barriers. The Shatter lands from Greco. Does get one, I think, there, but Nacho's the only one dead out of this one for the time being. Nacho's now coming back towards the rest. Lucio time is done. Lots of shots out. There's a Shatter, but actually doesn't land to Maja on the other side. A little bit farther away on that, and Maja's actually able to get out with the rest of his squad.
Wow,
Greco there. Okay, I was gonna say, if Greco lived through that.
Yeah, for St. Peter's right now, the fact that they got through that entire barrage of just baloney being thrown at them and actually coming out in a much more even position than they started out the fight. The ultimates are a bit closer. Not just going down sucks, but the spawn advantage is there. Should be a relatively quick res. The one thing it means, though, is that this Soldier and the Hanzo get to start playing around with the high ground.
Nicely done. Now the speed boost in. Broccoli knows exactly what he's doing. A Sound Barrier on board. They have the Dragons as well from Grub. Nobody quite yet. Sova trying to get these from up top. Min with the Valkyrie now as we look at Firewolf. Lots of damage focused down from this one. Rez is gonna be allowed. Oh, because the grab was not farther enough away. 100% on that lasers. The Dragons follow afterwards, right after the grab finishes. Greco finding loads of them here, and it's just that Hanzo left, I believe. Big Shatter. That's Nacho's now coming back into Echo form, and not gonna matter. Min was trying to come back, not gonna matter. Quinnipiac taking this last one in the nick of time, Dor.
Well done by Quinnipiac to keep their cool there. That was a solid push, and I want to hand that one over to the tanks and supports, if I'm being completely honest. We've been talking about the DPS all night, what they've been getting up to, but that push doesn't go off out without a hitch like that if it's not for the tanks and supports making absurd amounts of space. Yeah, the DPS were putting some damage in. Yeah, the Echo went down, but pushing in that fast and taking advantage of it that quickly without dying, no less, it's a tall task for any set of supporting DPS, or supporting tank players, rather.
Yeah, with the DPS we were lauding thoroughly, but I think that in our short break there, that had to have been discussed by both of these teams and how to deal with that more so. This one coming through, yes, may had effect, but that was definitely more first half of this game, and the tanks really came through shining on this one, focusing damage and more, being able to stay alive, and it didn't hurt whatsoever that Nachos was picking those to put literally a fifth tank on the field for that 15 seconds or so. Ults were almost always granted to him, as well as his performances through his duplicate targets came to their end, and that was about as close as we get. As it is, though, I do believe this Quinnipiac up 2-1 in the series, Dor.
Yes, sir. And now, Mr. Tugski, let's take a look at the next map we're heading over to. Rialto, we hadn't seen it all day, and I think this is a fantastic one for St. Peter's. The Echo's solid here. The Reinhardt's solid here. Everything they could be won. I mean, both teams have very much preferred a Mercy between Min and Cookie, and they've both been getting
100%.
away with, quite frankly, too much, right? I think every risk has gone off to this point, but they've done a good job of keeping those Mercies alive and denying them the opposing Mercy space whenever they get the option to. But like I said, this opens up so many more options for St. Peter's, who very much prefer trying to play out of the sky every once in a while as well. And they kind of have this dominance all over, whereas SPU, they've been trying to find value between Nachos and Sova based on their ultimates. St. Peter's and their neutral game are so good because Maja's May controls the ground, and then they just control the sky as well. Like, it is so tough to push into this team as an Echo, but they've got a good chance.
I'm 100% with that. I think where I would really, yeah. So the Mercy's coming in. It's what has been boggling my mind since we finished this last game is that so many have happened, have gone off. Not like because the attention isn't there. It's almost like the Mercies just know exactly how much HP they have left because it is very infrequent so far that I have seen that a Zarya bubble is involved in that. Right, that extra 200 almost grants a Mercy their res almost like a guarantee there, unless you see a huge level of focus from the other side. The big deal being here that they just get there instantly. It seems as soon as they're picks, they're always paying attention to these kill feeds and just jump on top of them instantly. I think there's a lot of attention that changes once a player dies, and especially now that Mercy is in her solo res situation. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about a full 6 getting up and the method of dying on tank or dying on point, right? That isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, no, we're past Moth Mercy, we're past Mass Res Mercy. It's a modern, sensible day and age where we just pick Mercy to go click on Fars and Ashes all the time, which is definitely a decision, but the one that they've gone with, I think that Cookie and Nimmin are playing well. They're playing around their team's cooldowns very, very effectively. And like I said, these tanks and supports have just been so consistent that's why it felt like in the first map that the DPS were controlling it was because they were so consistent. But I'm feeling like the Quinnipiac tanks are getting the edge just a bit too often, right? We were talking about those clean fights and how the teams both want to aggress. They want to play their own game. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. That's kind of been the story. Not on Volskaya. That was a lot scrappier, and Quinnipiac felt a lot more comfortable when things got down and dirty.
Yeah, the sustainability through the mental fortitude. What we talked a little bit about that earlier, right? You mentioned your quick play games in Hollywood. The shadow that came down, the solo Zarya. It is something that is done to send a message. I think the message coming through here, I would be surprised almost that Broccoli doesn't play that Lucio again, at least for first. It kind of depending, again, who was on offense and who was on defense. But the boop capabilities on this first little bridge and then again on the, I guess, second bridge, yeah, is really going to be a big deal. I would be very surprised if we got through these without at least a couple boop kills before somebody takes that first point.
Yes, sir. The bridge is nasty, but these teams are nastier. Honestly, if I want to give like a full guess at what we're going to be seeing played, it's likely going to be back onto the Echo Mercy. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping to see the Moira again instead of Lucio, but the Lucio definitely can work there. Some form of hit scan for the high ground, and then Rhine Diva is probably the optimal pick, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a Rhine Zarya just because these teams seem relatively comfortable running exactly that. From the opposing side, though, Grub and Maja, the May's pretty tricky to play here, and honestly, on the attacking side, I kind of just want to see dive out of them. I'm not sure how comfortable they are on it, but it's what I want to see to try and deal with what Quinnipiac have thrown at them.
Yeah, every single match we've seen, every single map so far. That's excuse me, Lijiang. That's Hollywood and Volskaya recently, and now Rialto. We have seen a Zarya Reinhardt every single time, so I would almost be surprised if we didn't. Now here we go. That's Greco, that's Firewolf, those mobile divey tanks, and I'm not talking scuba. The Reinhardt Zarya on the other side, still going to be something tried and true from Quinnipiac. Nope, from St. Peter's. They have swapped sides again. I'm glad that I noticed that.
Well, you can have a pat on the back, and it's exactly
Thanks,
correct.
man.
Wow, I was very accurate in my approach to guessing. Hanzo counts as a hit. Well, yeah, my producer says I get a pat on the back, so I get a pat.
I didn't hear it.
Sova, it locks in the Hanzo, but effectively, something long range, hit scanny, it'll get the job done. Quinnipiac locking a dive here. It's great for dealing with Sova, getting him off of the high ground as well. Really denies Rez a ton of value. I mean, the Winston's going to be zapping you from above. You can't really do all that much about it. And Greco can also help control these high grounds. This is why you didn't want Count Ravioli on a Zarya here. Is now what's going to contest these high grounds? Your non-existent Diva? Like, this is free real estate right now for Quinnipiac. And St. Peter's have nothing to do but to just give them the space.
Yeah, these dives are going to keep coming up and down. Death from above is what we will be seeing very shortly. This has been nothing but a push as Clam now falls. Only Lucio on the field. Broccoli following this up. We've seen him on the Zenyatta a couple times, and that's a nasty, nasty man. He just does disrespectful things with those Discord orbs and the charge-ups.
Yeah, not to mention the walls from Maja look pretty solid. St. Peter's have almost nothing to say, right? You push into this, you're going to just push right back into another wall. Their best bet is almost to just try and play the bridge here.
Broccoli almost has the most ultimate on his team, which means on the field, and just, you said free real estate, I'll back that one up. Quinnipiac coming through here. 5.5 minutes, that's amongst the most I've ever even seen on Rialto Door.
Yeah, it's a large time bank. There's a chance here for St. Peter's to stabilize. The dive gets a little bit more trouble at this point, but honestly, I think it's just a great pick from Quinnipiac, if we're being completely honest. It takes away a lot of the sightlines of Silva as well, who has been a real difference maker for St. Peter's. There's no longer the big threat of that pick just randomly coming out. Nacho's having a much harder time building up an ultimate of their own, and now with the Bob in the back line, I mean, call the Exterminator.
Bob in the back, he will get it done, but Soundbayer as well. Clam is there, loads of ultimates online for St. Peter's, but that's going to be the Primal Rage on the other side. Greco calling that one from the top, getting some resources from above. Nacho's down through the thick of things, no duplicate for you, sent back to respawn as Sova's trying to find a position to get those dragons out. Nope, it just maintains the attention onto Firewolf on this. The dive tank falls. Min does the same as Rez comes onto Firewolf, and Quinnipiac fighting this a full 6 door.
Non-stop pressure right now from Quinnipiac, and honestly, I love it. They need to play aggressive. You're running Mercy's, and Cookie's Mercy has looked incredible all night. Broccoli has been solid on the Zenyatta, and St. Peter's don't have any healing either, so if you focus his team down as much as you are, right? When you dive, you choose a target, and if that target starts getting a mass amount of heals, it usually causes at least a little bit of an issue. But there's no Ana. There is no mass heals from the side of St. Peter. So trying to do something about this is difficult. The only way they have is to try and fight back, but they lack the Discord orb, so their main tank is going to go down first almost every single time.
Yeah. But you just need a flow chart here from Jor. If then, if this, then. Like, seriously, that is apt analysis as you can get. Rez down, Sova down. This is a Quinnipiac squad absolutely thrashing St. Peter's right now. I got a call like I see it. On paper, a 5-minute time bank. So this is Quinnipiac, just to put this into perspective, who went out through first point with 5.5 minutes, 30 seconds later in their time bank. Not 30 seconds later, actually, but 30 seconds later in their time banks, they're rolling on in to the last point. 5 minutes and 1. More than 5 minutes, one could say.
That's a tall order. This is a very bad position for St. Peter's to be in, and I'm not sure they have the same dive in their back pocket. I think Grub and Maja, I mean, realistically, you could just go back to the Soldier Ash, and you would be fine playing with a Ryan and Zarya or a Ryan Diva. Again, I think they're going to lock Ryan Zarya. I think the correct pick here is to pick Ryan Diva, but there is a degree of comfort that actually factors into that equation. St. Peter's, on the other hand, I want to see dive from them, because if there's an Ashe out here, she's just going to control the high ground. But they're not going to run it. They're back on the Ryan Zarya train, and Quinnipiac are actually playing some dive of their own on the defense. This isn't necessarily a bad pick at all. Control the high ground, zap the people beneath you, give Grub even more support while you're up there, and their game plan is going to be the exact same. They're not going to slow down. They're going to push into St. Peter's. They're not taking anything from anybody unless... I mean, they're playing with me right now. They can't decide if they want to play dive or not. Nachos is... I don't know about this Doomfist pick.
I like the
I just want the Echo back.
But yeah.
If this is dive, I want the Echo. I feel like it would help them out so much, especially getting another support into the, maybe even just duplicating over a Mercy. I mean, you can change it up to a DPS, even another Winston to try and just create some pressure.
I mean,
yeah, something like that is just ridiculous. But no, sticking with the Doomfist, how do you even get to this high ground? I don't know any, like, I've got a decent knowledge of Doomfist rollouts, and there just aren't any for this.
You can get there, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. The lift is just a little bit too high, and the other way you're too slow and not high enough. So yeah, different choices. But Nacho looked like he's confident on it so far. Sova and company have not gotten.
Sova right now.
What?
Cookie just
sorry.
Full battle mercied onto Sova and forced him away.
Got it.
And then it goes back and gets the wrestle.
There you go. Well, yeah, like, and especially onto his fellow support. Sova is gonna strike back on this one, get a headshot of his own, but really the aggression from Cookie. You know, it's kind of like our solo shot earlier.
about sending a message, but so is recontesting this cart. They need to get their tanks in there and in there quick. They've got a Blizzard coming online, but they're bleeding out players quickly, Tug.
Yeah, Maja, Grub both done huge sources of damage as Greco follows as well. This will just be some stall action. What, 2 minutes? A minute and a half? No, yeah, 2.5 minutes, excuse me, gonna be the reward. Oh, hello, Nachos. Getting up close and personal. Wants to say hello. Finds one on that, pulls up the rocket punch, barely misses it, but not gonna matter because his dive tanks are with him.
Nah, it's just a cleanup crew. Janitorial Doomfist inbound, and, you know, good job setting him up, but now you gotta start asking, how do we stop this Bob? Right? The Transcendence is online. And this is one of the things that I like about Quinnipiac. No matter how little healing they run, they're always running some sort of big support ultimate, like a Sound Barrier, like a Transcendence. It's won them a ton of fights at this point, and it will likely win them this one.
Yeah, a lot more often I think casters focus on Broccoli on the Zens, or Zen's not pulling that ultimate in time, but he's really had some great timing. Now the Dragon's finding one on the dry. Majin not able to get away with that. Firewolf following suit, and I think that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be Greco right afterwards. Here it comes, Mercy gets away from that little bit of damage on, so the Doomfist ult not 100% necessary there, but that's gonna be A-okay.
What is
this
Grub
is just
doing back
used
here?
for stall. Grub maybe switching off the Ash after this?
No, it's being used to kill the entire team is what it is. It's contested the card effectively. Quinnipiac is going to be back for an actual contest here in a second.
Yeah, that's buying time, buying space, and spinning it very, very well. Freeze on the Doomfist. Barely gets in. Wow, the charge landing on the very, very last bit. So yeah, like you said, defense is stabilized, or
this is, I mean, that
madness.
Flank, that flank Ash play was simultaneously one of the most weird and one of the most effective things we've seen all match. The Bob contested, the one kill that they got was more than enough to actually hold down this attacking side. Now it's Quinnipiac with a pretty big ultimate advantage. They've still got that trance in tow.
Maja is just getting super aggressive and nobody's really punishing for it. There's not a whole lot of burst damage on the side outside of Grub's headshots. Outside of that, really just having free reign here. Broccoli following suit. Nice headshots there. Stun is out. That 250 given the May a new lease on life again. Count Ravioli is coming through here with the Primal Rage. Now, is that like a title? Like Transylvanian, like Dracula count? Or is that like an instruction? Like the verb count?
Well, a count is well, it's technically a
title
royalty position. It's
okay.
Apparently, according to our producer, it's right below Duke. So I don't think it, like, honestly, in my mind, this is just a wild
false
guess
information
at
for our
where
producer.
This is.
That's
this is
literally
not
what he just
official
said.
or anything. Point is, though, let's get to the punchline real quick because I think that's important. He's playing for St. Peter, so we've got Saint Count Ravioli playing for a team, and I just think that's perfect. Right now, though, it's not perfect for him. These dives have been less than spectacular so far, and Quinnipiac's going to continue to hold them off, especially with these 3 ultimates in tow.
I have to wonder if this is Quinnipiac just with a little bit more, experience on that. They just played it, so now they know what to look for or something. I don't know. Red is doing a fantastic job. Almost everybody with ultimate now pulling the Blizzard out. Meteor Strike landing on nothing, on nada. He gets discorded and disrespected on the end. Oh no! Speaking of disrespect, that's Sova giving a nice clean arrow to the dome piece. That's both DPS deleted for the side of Quinnipiac. Now the Transcendence will be there soon, but Koki trying to get that done with the Valkyrie for the time being. This one still fought to a standstill, kind of.
No, Quinnipiac have the health bar still low. By taking out Min and Rez, that should be enough. There's no defense matrix, there's no heal. Yes, Clam swapped over to a Moira, so they've got a bit more in their back pocket, but the spawns are closer for Quinnipiac. The May's still there that can test the cart forever. And so any sort of these fights that are up in the air that aren't decided quickly, they should be won by Quinnipiac because they can contest for so much longer. Now Broccoli's coming back in with another Transcendence, and this is one of the weird things about the composition that St. Peter's are running, right? They don't have a big win condition. There's not something on this team that I'm like, yeah, that's going to win me a fight, guaranteed. It's like maybe if it's from a synergy, maybe a really good dive onto somebody, but no matter what they do, even if it comes in a pick later, Broccoli can just press Q and they're right back in the fight.
Yeah, exactly. And Broccoli is not going to press Q easily. This is a cool hand Luke Zenyatta who has pulled this, I think, twice in this matchup so far because he doesn't need to. Now here it comes. That's when you know it's essential. But oh no! Rez on the side of St. Pete's proves that they don't need a win condition door. They'll just take a triple piece with a single self-destruct.
Their win condition is hitting 3-man self-destructs.
There you
Okay.
go.
So here's
Keep
the
it simple, stupid, right? Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Like, I'm amazed.
Nice win condition and all, but they have to do it like 2 more times before the end of the map, and that is just that's so much to ask. Oh boy, Grub, good shot.
You know that meme like with the kid with the sticks, like do it again, do it again.
Oh,
all right, we want to see it again there, Rez. It'll be a very, very tall order, but you just did it once. That means you can do it once more. Count Ravioli following on this one. No Primal Rage, no Angry. Winston's on this one. Still hyper aggressive. Okay, so Greco had the heals there. I did not think that he did for a second. Getting up really aggressive like that would not have been a name in the game. Blizzard out, and maybe it's just because he is feeling relatively cool. The AC has gone out around the payload. He wanted to have a blizzard there. I am unsure.
I mean, it's just hold people off for the time being. They have such a large ultimate advantage that they can get away with using that ultimate. It'll come back in the rotation by the time they're done with these 3. The Graviton and Bob enough should be, I mean, more than enough, rather, to get through this fight. Again, St. Peter's have no support ultimate to counter it. Not to mention, if the wall connects, they've lost Cookie to start the fight, though.
Main support down from Quinnipiac. They'll have to fight through this with a Zenyatta left, and that's it. No trance either. The ultimate's on board. Grab there. Cook will be back with that Valkyrie here soon. Big res from Min onto Nachos on point. Nova now. Why do I keep saying Nova? Sova has gotten the healing back for himself. Big shots. Broccoli hitting him with the burst, and then a second one. Chrome the dome. Now got the transcendence. That's all Broccoli needed. Super low as Greco. Grav is out against the side of St. Peter's. Coming out. Nacho's there, giving the regular shots first. Got the Death Blossom as well to even this one out if he so chooses. He's there. The Maywall out. And no! A huge headshot from Broccoli again, saving the squad.
Broccoli's little chrome dump is kind of nutty, dude. The Zenyatta looks so good. The damage is there. The Discord's there. The Transcendence is there. He's got another one if they even need it right now. The Omnic Warlord goes off on the last point and holds on to it for Quinnipiac to win the series.
And stays golden at the end. Still had his ultimate. I don't think Broccoli, the Zenyatta player, would have it any other way. Yes, he literally spent more time in this game with ultimate than not, but every single one of Broccoli's transcendences saved his squad except for the very last one on this right here, right now. Literally right there.
Yeah, just heal past.
Just heal past 1,000, right? Yeah, exactly. The only time it didn't work was when it was physically incapable of it working. Broccoli was just like literally just so on point with that. Again, it does not matter if you're holding onto a trans for an entire game like that when you use it and it has so much value and you win a team fight every single time. Like, you can't be expected to have that, team fight to team fight if you're dropping it every single. Broccoli had the timing all day long. If you only got timing and got nothing, Broccoli.
A solid win from Quinnipiac. And while there were a couple shakeups towards the second map, I gotta say it was a solid series all around. Throw that second map out, and there's a team that looked competitive against pretty much anybody. The ultimate planning was good. I feel like this team's actual ability comes almost more from their individual ability. They all looked, quite frankly, incredible. And now, guess what? We get insight into that little Chrome Dome. It's going to be Broccoli coming in for an interview. Hello, Mr. Broccoli.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling
going right into it. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, pretty good about that.
Yeah, I would too if I was playing as Zenyatta like that. Let's just say that. So what I just said here on broadcast a second ago is it really doesn't matter if you hold on to your ultimate for more time in the game or not, when you have trans like that. The only time that I saw, at least, you're welcome to allow your spot here, Broccoli, but the only time that I saw that you had a trans going and your team didn't win a team fight was when it's one positive way to say it.
Self-destruct.
They didn't notice the sneaky self-destruct got landed. No, that's not a positive way. Anyway, yeah, the 3 people died to a self-destruct. There's no way to positive.
Yeah, half the team got owned. Yeah.
Can't heal it without
in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine there you go. I saw that. Tweet as well. Yeah, no grab involved. No shattered down. Crazy. Just literally a single self-destruct, all the value in purchasing your opponent's teams at that point, right? Like, there was no guarantee of them.
Yeah, it was by far and large.
over to the next question. That map, it may have had a singular moment that wasn't so bright, but the rest of it was all shining.
Brilliant.
A push with 5 minutes spare on the clock. I mean, what's it like going through that? You guys were just on top of it. That was some of the best Overwatch we've seen tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, we practiced Alto with some friends, and we got destroyed every single time. So I was really surprised that we did it with that much time. But yeah.
Word. So, one of my last questions here. I just want to shoot straight with you. Do you actually feel bad about what your defense did to their tank lineup?
Not at all.
Not at all. That's good. That's good. You really shouldn't.
Yeah,
I like
just
nature broccoli.
thank you.
Follow-up question before we let you go. Did you have cold damage?
At the end?
Yes.
I had silver. I had silver or bronze. Someone took it from me.
He's keeping up.
There you go. Hey, either way, Zenyatta getting stuff like that done, especially with the well-timed trend, is going to be money all day. Broccoli, we want to thank you for coming on in here and giving us a minute of your time after the match.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's what you said.
Thank you.
We got me and Dor coming out after the Quinnipiac 3-2-1 victory over St. Pete. St. Pete not going quietly into the night whatsoever. That was a decently close match, and overall, I think this could have gone back and forth a little bit more. We could still be watching that Rialto match, not even counting Game 5 yet. But staying winless, or staying lossless, staying full of wins is Quinnipiac. 3-1 on that, and now 2-0 on the series. And we will be going to a very short break. We'll be back with you guys in just a couple minutes. Do you like Hello and welcome back, Overwatch fans. I am here back from Jag to Door, back to Jag. We are here rounding out my casting for tonight. I think there's a 10:30 game after this, right, Jag? Jag, can you hear me?
There is going to be another game. Yeah, lost audio there for a second, but we're back at it. There is going to be another game after this. It is going to be Fairfield versus, I'm trying to find it, Fairfield versus Niagara.
Niagara, yes sir.
Yeah, another match after this. But this one should be a pretty exciting one to start off the rest of my Nightwave. UTA looking very dominant so far in this league. Has been dominating EGF 2-0 so far. UConn didn't have the hottest start. Right now they're entering this 0-2, but boy oh boy, what a great way would it be to get back on track, defeating a previously undefeated team.
Yeah, so at least one, UTA, that's it, coming in, looking to avoid their first loss here in this, not best of 5. Jag made a very, very good point. This is first 2-3, so ties will get you nothing, not a 0, will get you some experience in playing the game of Overwatch at a high level.
I'll get you maybe another life, just extend the series out a little bit. Yeah, if you get the draw, you still force another map, but...
I thought you just meant in general, like I was being promised an afterlife just for the simple act of playing in this Overwatch game. I would have taken you up on that, Jag.
Good salesman, right? That's what we do as casters. We say things nicely and people believe us, like I know what I'm talking about. But starting off on Lijiang, so we have all the matches tonight and be on night market, so, you know, potential for maybe some stem teleporters. That's what we've seen a lot of so far.
Especially something off the top from the very beginning will be used to these teams out. We see that frequently with the Lucio as well. Then a swap on over to a Mercy. Darko, Moira, Super Juice, and Lucio. Not 100% sure if that's going to be the name of the game there. There are boot capabilities here, are there not, Jag?
There are indeed, which is why you sometimes run the Hammond. We're seeing that Ben on the other side is trying to run it, but really what you're seeing from the side on the red side, you're seeing what's a pretty general formula. UTA, yeah. They are running a pretty normal comp here with the Reaper, the dive tanks. They're going to be running this more like a brawl, trying to take that space, but they do have the Sim TV up top. They are going to drop on and take that point, so Sim is going to be a little bit more interesting. They can run her at that close range. She can just get in there, use the microwave, but there's no shields for her to really build any charge off of on the other side.
Yeah, really not. Decent placement for the turrets. Nothing to lead it off so far. We're on with Benteke 30. That is the hit scan DPS for your UConn squad. Big helix there at the end. Attack visor, that's the aimbot. Available already, coming in, looking for it. No bubble on this one till the very end. Cooldown pretty low on that. Now coalescence, not coalescence. That would sound pretty cool. Coalescence out, finds a lot of value on that. Darko finishing that off with a damage orb, and that's barely... Do you know, we never got confirmation on that pronunciation, right? The Mercy on the blue side, UConn?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with Dinosuke.
Dinosuke, that sounds pretty cool.
Does indeed, but you know what sounds even cooler right now for UT? The fact that they were able to take the Tazer out. All they had to commit was the Coalescence, which charges a lot faster. Now they have the Simmel online for Dez. There are going to be support ults online on the other side. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but they are going to even it up right now in this fight.
Microwave started. Here comes the Transcendence Alley, making sure everybody's gravy. The Discord Orb immediately out on the aggressive Lucio. Super Juice trying to punch his ticket on this, apparently. No, getting up close and personal. Alley super low, but that's going to be a Q Ash who takes that one out. Now we have a bad Zarya here. That's a mid-bin charge to 100. Benteke 30. Now getting the aimbot out, a lot of value on that one, 71-72% for UTA. Now UConn will be swapping this over, 1-2% against 74. That's where they ended.
That's a big misplay by Super Juice. You use the beat, you get a little bit too aggressive, get caught out from the rest of the team, and that was the opening that UConn needed to get back in there. They were able to get the picks from there, double committing the support ults, but already Dinosuke close to another Valkyrie, so not too bad. There is going to be the teleport over the top. They gave up the point. That might be a free take right now for UTA.
Wow, yeah, so 3/4 or so there. Rapid was their last line of defense of that. Now Ultra Polito coming in from the top, and it's not necessary. The self-destruct finding all the value in the world, and this is going to be UTA's first team kill of the game. Yeah, first team. Yeah, I said that right. Words are hard sometimes, Jag.
Words are hard, especially when you gotta think a mile a minute with gamers as good as this. Right now, there are going to be ults on the side of UTA. Will Tomato Lord try to use that primal just to boop them off? Will they use an early Reaper Death Blossom? They're going to be a grab, but they're not going to find anything from it.
Mid-bin mostly using that one for the zoning purposes. The Symmetra ult still out that wall, providing a lot of value. DPS ultimates popping off everywhere as Q finds not one but two. Reaper's the last line of defense, and that's going to be a take back over from the side of UConn. That's UConn's team kill bell now against UTA. UTA died. That's what I'm saying, Jag.
The question is right now, with Dez still sitting on the Symmetra, will they just do the same thing? Will they just take the teleporter over the top and take the point again? They're going to be swapping to a Boomfist this time, so no more of that Reaper. They decided it wasn't enough. They are going to take the TP right back onto that point, so once again it's coming out and trades immediately from both teams.
Instant trades, but that's Dinosuke who's getting the res off. Rabbit did fall, so still fighting this one. 5-2-6. Nasty, sticky as Mipbin stretching out to try and stay alive on this one. Now the sound barrier landing at the end. Half of UTA getting advantage from this one. Mercy not going to be able to get out of that one. You're not going to get away from Create so easy. You had an anti-grenade from Ali, the Anna from UConn on the other side, and that's going to be just Ali left.
Yeah, not going to be able to touch, and UTA running the same exact rotation. It kept working, and there was no counter. You would think UConn would maybe have learned from that the first time, where instead of, trying to hold outside of the point, they would finally just play on it, make sure that there would be no teleporter over the top. But twice it worked, and UTA going to take that first round on Lee Jung. We're going to have a little bit of a pause right now before we go to that next point, but UConn
Tactical pause.
had some good plays there.
The tactical pause coming through. Both teams realizing they needed that time to come in, figure out what to do, what to recreate, what to stop the opponents from doing, everything else like that. You never see pauses like this come outside of high-level Overwatch. I'm just memeing around here.
Yeah, looks like there is a frame issue for one of the players, so should be getting back in there soon. But UConn, they had some good plays there. They were able to take the point twice, come back in, and make that map a little bit more competitive. But again, they just were not prepared for the same rotation. Maybe they thought they're going to swap it up, but if the Symmetra's still alive, you got to expect that UTA is going to be running more of the same.
I think the Symmetra worked. Yeah, got to agree with you, right? What we're looking at is a situation with control points where these turrets come out. Yes, they have about as little health as you're going to get in the great game of Overwatch, but the simple fact of them stacking up damage and then reducing movement speed and whatnot, what I'm really thinking is that not to fix it if it isn't broke, right? I think I say this pretty frequently on broadcasts. But it just makes sense, right? Keeping it simple. That's what I said with Dora a minute ago. No reason to change things up if they're working.
Absolutely, and UConn just could not adjust. Sim play was pretty clean from UTA. Usually, if you run the sim, you swap off of it after you lose that first point, or if you lose, the point after gaining it. It's usually very hard to recontest with the sim, but when the point is open for free and you've got a one-way ticket to get there, keep running it. Just keep running it, and it keeps working. So UConn, they're gonna have to, figure out a way to play around that. I'm not sure if we're gonna see a sim played on for the rest of the series. Maybe on Control Center. Maybe even on Gardens. You can still use that TP to get right in on Gardens. On Control Center, you can just throw the turrets around the cylinder in the middle. So it's possible, if they feel like it's good enough, that UTA is just going to keep running that sim down UConn's throat.
Yeah, would not be against it at all. Now, we're getting a player back on in here. We're going to give you guys a rest from the vocal velvet coming at you consistently across these. We'll be back in about 60 seconds, that is, not minutes, I promise. And we are back. We told you it would be a short break. Overwatch players frequently say it'll just be 1 minute, but they never really do they, Jag?
They don't, but this time the prophecy has been fulfilled. Now, we're going to see a very quick sim swap off, so UTA not going to be sticking on it. We're going to be Stracers on each side, but Dez going to lose that Battle of the Soldier Variant. So, same DPS. Actually, these are just mirror comps across the board. One of the first times we've seen it all day, so this is going to be very interesting.
Yes, it is. That's going to be not 1 but 2 DPS, absolutely just shackled and sent back to spawn room with I don't know, like just an embarrassing mark or something like that. That was UTA coming out here, and not 1 but 2 DPS over on the side, just getting shut down very, very quickly.
And Benteke right now has more than 30% on the ult, but that is the start they needed. Now Ali gonna fall, so tables have been turned a bit. Tomato Lord getting in here and doing some damage on the point.
Yeah, the damage possibility is going to be mitigated in many points by Ali being gone, so that's for the side of Yukon, just like that. Mitbin gets the attention turned towards him. No spin to win for you, but Yukon has not lost control of this point quite yet. 27, 28% now as we see a Tracer falling, stumbling down. Hate to see it. Benteke 30. Staying alive here, pulling out the aimbot and getting the most from it. That's Creates on the other side, and a very late Super Juice Transcendence. Maybe he just want to show off for his friends.
Maybe, but showing off is not going to get you the W's here. They had opening picks on the side of UTA, but in the end, University of Connecticut just able to stabilize, continue putting on that pressure. Both supporters coming out from UTA, not finding any value in the ult bank. Still looking pretty good for Yukon. They're going to have every ult going into this fight except for Benteke's visor. Maybe looking for an early mines, maybe even look for an early boop if they go across, but no, instead it looks like they're going to be pushing White Room on the side of UTA.
They've opted to go this way several times. We'll get into what Toledo means in a second because I'm curious. Oh no, I'm not curious anymore after Ali disrespected him like that with a headshot. Throw a Discord orb on top, you're not going to live through those, my friend. Midmen taking a lot of flack, but now getting back for it. 3 ultimates on the side of Yukon. UTA technically with more, but no real leeway, no leverage, no yardage taken from them. 90% now soon to 0. Had a few opportunities, not even able to capitalize on them quite yet. Super Juice trying with these bursts out. Dez now with the aimbot on this one. Gets a lot of healing down. There's the self-destruct. Gotta get away. And doesn't! Clips him on the very end. Rabbit with the self-destruct. In Transcendence, that Super Juice comes out of it and instantly gets shredded.
Shredded indeed, and this is last fight for UTA. They need to take this point if they want any hope of holding on to this point, possibly winning it later on, but it's just not looking good for them. The tank's now moving off the point. The bomb is going to come in, but it's not going to find anything. The Zen is going to fall. We're going to see one pick come out, and UTA now, they're starting to turn this. They've gotten a lot of picks after the fight. It seems like it was lost, and just like that, they are going to keep this point alive for them. But it's going to be a long climb for them if they want to come back from 99-0.
Yeah, so that taken there at the end, a very long team fight for UTA, but keeping the dream alive indeed. This has been Yukon coming out doing very, very well so far on map number 2. Wait, did I get these mixed up? I thought I got them mixed up against Jag. I was gonna... Yep, now I got you. Yep, Yukon on the left, UTA on the right in the red. 25, 26% here soon, as merely... You know, I didn't do what the cool kids did back in school that much, but apparently it's just the cool king for the Tracers just fell off this map with no damage on them.
Yeah, it's happened more than once now on both sides. And now we're seeing UTA. They're pushing the advantage. They're just playing super aggressive. And now they're putting themselves in a position to possibly win this map. Diva just going to take the leap into the hole, not going to be staggered out any longer. Look at the openings. UTA has finally built something up that's sustainable. They almost have the Transcendence online. They have the mines, almost the pulse bomb. They have the visor. Meanwhile, Yukon, they aren't too far behind, but it's just been hard for them in fights previously. They've had ultimates to use in prior matches, and they still just can't get it done.
Discord and more on the mid bin, not able to roll away on this one. Super Juice sends some orbs of his own, some balls of his own after that Hammond. Now the res coming through. The big E creates, taking something out of this world in the form of a sticky bomb. Put that in the stomach and eat well. Creates, still here, Transcendence out. Super Juice comes out of it and instantly gets deleted again. Super Juice has had some really solid Transcendences, but he will not live to see a couple seconds post the end of them. Ultra Polito here. What a stick! Nicely done! Trying to keep this one alive. That's Ultra Polito coming around, trying to get on top of this one. Now has the necessary interaction. Mercy not able to get away from this one. Darko paying the price for trying to keep his team alive. Shots and more out, a lot of aggression. That Zenyatta not going to live through this one, and I think that UConn has taken this back over. They have definitely earned it, if so, but Q's still here, pouring out damage, as now UTA decides that it's time to back up.
Yeah, they don't have a chance to back up. What? They need to stay in this fight now. Oh. This is last fight territory. It's 99-99 right now. UConn still has control of the point. There are still trades coming in. It's anyone's fight. The mines are going to be put on the point, and that's going to be the end. UConn able to hold on despite giving up a 99-0 lead. Going to force a 0.3 on Control Center.
Yeah, a kind of a mid-map reverse sweep on this one. You don't get farther down the pipe than 99, and then coming back and allowing, allowing the full comeback. Hate to double up on terms there. It doesn't matter. Now, moving on over. This is, oh man, Control Center, correct?
This
no,
is
what's the name of this?
Control Center. It is Control Center.
Okay, yeah.
Indeed. And yeah, this is what I was expecting generally. You get the Brawl tanks out, get the Ryans are going to just run into each other, but no Lucio just yet, as I say that Super Juice swaps. So Dez going to use that Sim TP to get them a bit closer. Might be a little bit harder now for UConn to contest. They aren't going to have that same mobility, so it's going to be UTA getting there much quicker. They're going to set up in that white room, might force UConn to back up all the way to the point.
Shots out, Ultra Polito over on the Junkrat, getting a lot of chip damage in right from the beginning and right from the sides here. Now, vulnerability field invested. Going to be providing value on that. Rabbit not with the rest of the team. Nasty Purple against Tomato as Benteke 30 is forced to come back a little bit. Little damage boost on the back end of that, but not going to matter. That's Dez getting in the thick of things and falling for it. Only loss from the side of UTA so far.
Right now, UTA, they've got to get rid of the soldier on the high ground, and that's going to be the end of that. A nice little boot. So right now, what you're seeing is two different play styles. UTA, they're trying to go for that upfront, more brawly, a lot of spam damage. They're trying to run into your face. University of Connecticut, they are trying to get the flank damage while having that tank line still play you up front. It's really difficult. They did swap off of the soldier, so maybe a little bit less flank, maybe a little bit more upfront shield break damage with those arrows coming out, but right now, I think UTA has it locked down with the composition they have.
More boosted through this Baptiste window is, that's, yeah, every tank and every support, no, excuse me, damage, 2 tanks and a support deleted from the side of UConn. Short time to do play-by-play.
Crazy to think what that amplification matrix might be like if the PTR patch goes through. It's going to be the size of a garage. Right now, Q trying to open up a garage-sized hole in the enemy backline. It's going to be found out immediately, so that pulse bomb not going to be finding as much value as they're looking for. They know there's a tracer behind them.
Sitting up top, or sitting down bottom instead of up top is Ultra Polito. Dez, got this lasers going. Tire out, gotta go on the other side of that one, taking out both supports, and I think that's put a bow on top of this one. UTA 75 fanning a team that has no healers at all. First team kill bell coming out for the side of UTA. QFL blast, that's gonna be 82-83%. There will have another shot, UConn will.
They will, but there is this grab online. They can use it as a zoning ult. They don't have to worry about getting the kills. If they can stop them from touching the point, that's all that matters. There is a dragon they can use. There is the grab coming out.
Shatter as well afterwards. That's been Teke 30, who is getting 2 with the dragons, 1 with the shots afterwards. Lot of kills, lot of blue kills here from UConn at the end. They're going to get into this one and flip it. Who knows how much they'll take from it though, Jack?
They are going to at least take something to keep their dreams alive of winning this map. That was a good grab, but the dragon was a great counterplay by Benteke. Completely split up UTA, zoned them out, got a little bit of damage in there as well. Now UTA, they only have the Amplification Matrix. They have a Shatter almost online. Is it enough to take away this map?
It's a tall order. They just did it last map. UTA went up to 99. See if they can do this one again. Rabbit being first on the chopping block here. A lot of red kills on the left side, but they did lose Darko here. They're their main support. Now a big source of damage gone as well, but Red and Dez going to take this one back.
And with
Overtime down,
last, I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to touch. That one was just a little bit too little and a little bit too late, Jag.
Oh, you know, UConn, they showed a lot of promise on Gardens. They looked really good. They looked pretty good on all the maps. They were able to take the point at some point. They weren't shut out at any time, but like you said, a little bit too late. Weren't able to get to that last point in time, and in the end, UTA just coming back, storming on in, take Lijiang 2-1, and take a 1-0 lead in this series.
Yeah, let's you go over with me this how these went. That was 99 to 99 the first game, right?
I think it was something
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no. It was 99 to 0. It was 99 to 0 in the first game. The second one was 99 to 0. It was looking like the exact same thing, and then UConn brought it all the way back from 99. They were at 0 all the way up to 100. Third game going very, very close one, but yes, UTA took this one. It was not a bloodless victory by any means. We are looking at had it written down a second ago. It's the hybrid. That is Hollywood. Hollywood next, my man.
Yeah, and we've seen
Probably
a lot
just
of
write those
Hollywood
down again.
today. And, you know, it is usually the team that's manning the high ground a little bit better is the one that wins. Usually when you control it on that first point, it gives you such a great advantage as the defense. You just play that. You don't really worry about the point. You try to spam down, get as many kills as possible before the enemy team can even get through the choke. It's hard to be an attacker sometimes. If you are the attacking team, you just have to have a good rotation. Maybe try to take that high ground, go all the way around the point. You cannot get stuck in that choke. So many times today, I've seen teams just kind of sit there on the attack on that first point, and they just get spammed down.
You know, one might say it's hard out here for a DPS. Who knows? UConn looking at this next after falling. Nope, not falling. I did the wrong page again. Yeah, UConn did fall 0-2 on the series. Now 1-0 in this series. So they're going to be on defense, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Excuse me. The question I wanted to ask is, pollo means chicken in Spanish. Does ultra polito means a super small chicken? Like if polito is like the smaller chicken, like a miniature chicken?
No, I'm not sure, but I don't think it matters about the size, you know, of the person. It's more about what they can do. And right now, Ultra Polito definitely showing that they have the skill necessary to help win UTA the series. Des also doing a great job. And the DPS right now duo on the side of UTA is really what's carried them over this hump. They struggled a bit on Gardens, couldn't get as much value on the Tracer and Soldier, but you know the sim play has been outstanding, especially from Des so far. Looks like right now we're still waiting on one to come back for UConn. So we're going to take another short break, let you guys get a drink of water, stand up, get a little bit of a stretch. We'll be back with the series in a little bit.
Oh, excuse me. UConn UTA continued matchup. What? I will, just not at this opportunity yet. We are moving on in to Hollywood. A little 1-0 action. UTA up after a very hard-fought Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, Lijiang went more back and forth than maybe some would presume based on the win-loss records coming into this, but UConn definitely showing some fight, showing some potential. As they go into Hollywood, they will be on the defense first. UTA on the offense sides have not swapped. And we're going to see Tomato Lord, more of that Hammond action. We saw it on guard. It did not work out very well for them. That was the 1 point of Lijiang that they lost. It's going to be hard to run that into the Rhine Zarya unless you can really create chaos and go for the squishies.
Rolling around here, Tomato Lord trying to just draw the attention of this UConn defense. Q not to be outdone, does get hit from the top, but instantly shotgun. That's the coach gun out. Now I do believe that's Ultra Polito up top on this Tracer. Q out. Okay, so did not get to finish out the ball in this one. Tomato still on the side here. Q following some well-placed Helix rockets. Nice res on the Q, so blue, that's UConn, is still up entirely. UConn getting a little bit low, or the Q getting a little bit low. Ali going to be the one who falls, though. Nicely done here, Bentech. And Q finding one of their own, reses of their own on red coming through UT. That's the University of Texas Arlington, I believe. Still fighting this at a full 6.
They are fighting this at a full 6. They are going to lose the mech. Right now, they just need to take down Q and the Reinhardt, but Bentech going to go a little bit too far, a little bit too close to the sun. They're trying to take a lot of people on that high ground, not going to find it. And now this is going to be a cap for UTA. Not as clean maybe as they wanted it to be, but a cap nonetheless. There might be a little bit of a recontest here, but we're going to see Tomato Lord just rolling back there, trying to create a little bit more chaos. Super just adding so much value on the Zen right now, and that's going to be the cap going the way of UTA on first point Hollywood.
I'm sorry, yeah, like it's just kind of funny, right? The healers are always sent back to point duty, right? You say he's got like a huge influence on the game. And at the end of the day, somebody's got to do it. That is very true.
Reminds me of Wins texting on the payload in World Cup back in the day. Sometimes it's either if it's Zen, you do
dated.
Damage, but it is dated, but still works here, I think. Now there's a lot of ults on the side of UTA. UConn not too far behind. They do swap off the Ashe to the Widow. So there's going to be a lot of ults versus a lot of ults. But still right now, the D.Va on the side of UTA going to find the first pick.
Yes, Divey Tanks finding a lot. Super Juice now with the Transcendence. Bob came out. Bob got put down. DEZ, that's Dez. It's the only player on the side of UTA who hath fallen. Everybody else who's alive has ultimate outside of our Transcending Zenyatta, who just pulled it. That's Super Juice.
Yeah, and just to correct myself, it was actually Bentech that swapped off the Torb, not the Ashe. They still have Q, but now Bentech can swap the Soldier, so a lot of swaps again from UConn.
Wholesale switches, yes, so didn't find what he wanted on the Widowmaker up top, either on top of Bank or the Jail, so still going to have the Q decently long-range damage out, but Bentech going back over the Soldier 76, more of a comfort pick for him. Ball getting up close, very aggressive, being the big health pack down bottom as we switch on over to Rabbit. Gets the Fire Strike eaten instantly, extinguished out, one could say. And oh man, the shield coming out the very last second. That's Midbin, who did dedicate his projected barrier onto the Reinhardt while he did fall himself. He sacrificed the body for his friends. If there was an Overwatch movie to be made, I think that'd be a scene.
Yeah, Reinhardt just trying his best to keep everyone alive, but that shield's going to fall at the last second. The bubble was committed by the off-tank. Did save the Rhine for just a second, but now it's not going to matter. They've swapped once again, so the tank line now completely different. And right now, we're just seeing UTA push that aggressive advantage they have right now. They're going to be going all the way in with Ultra Polito. But right now, they're going to have to back up a little bit. They are going to create space, so they should at least get the first corner right now on this third point. The great time bank, 4 minutes left, and still some ultimates that they have online. They have the support ultimates, but Q, not too far behind on that Bob. Ollie has the Transcendence, so right now, if UConn is in a hole, they need to start it now.
Transcendence on Transcendence, Ali on the other side. We'll see Bob's coming out from Q. There we go, right down the middle as well. So cornered out. That's the perfect time for a Transcendence. Midbin. Now, is that Midbino? Midbin Q? Have I been saying that wrong?
I just say Ben.
Benedict. Wait, what?
I just say Ben for the main tank. It's worked for me so far.
But there's a Benteke 30. No, you're right. It's Benteke 30. We will honor our producer and his best friend by pronouncing his entire name. Sticky grenade out. That's going to be Dez finding 2 on this one. The mini diva form as well as the main tank Winston, and some very quick cleanup there at the end from UTA puts a bow on top of this game. 3 minutes 17, 3:17 for UTA.
A great time bank, and I said UConn had to do something there to really solidify having hold, and what did they do? They lost their diva mech immediately. The ball was countered by the Transcendence. Weren't able to find value in the ultimates they had. UTA just going to get a very good time bank. There is still time for UConn to catch up, maybe even this map out, get a full cap as well, force extra rounds. This looks like right now they've lost any momentum they had coming out of Lichong. Did not have a very
Yo. There you go. Yep, just a little bit of Discord issues. That's going to happen. Hardware, software, not our fault, but we will blame production anyway. There it is. I knew I was going to bring it out eventually. Gotcha good, Juke. 18 seconds before we start this one up. Ultra Polito on the Tracer, does on the Soldier 76. Tomato Lord, I guess it makes sense he's playing that big rounded player. Tomato Lord is, yuck, on the Hammond. Creates Diva. He is the one who got some nasty doubles on the self-destructs earlier, right, Jag?
Absolutely. Right now we're going to see what they can do as we move on and swap sides. And it's going to be, we're going to see Ben try their luck at that Hammond, that Wrecking Ball, but look at Tomato Lord in the backline. No one is the wiser, and Ali once again going to be taking a little bit of damage, but the peel was there. So right now, still a full 6v6. Tomato Lord kind of taking himself a little bit out of the fight with that rotation.
5.6 now for UConn as the Diva mech left. Now, excuse me, UTA taking out Ultra Polito, a huge source of damage gone for the side. University of Texas Arlington for right now. Trying to keep the Baby Diva alive and actually pushing back a Wrecking Ball of all characters. Kind of surprising there. Baby Diva and Zenyatta getting it done against one of the largest health pool characters in the game. Ali done, Q demolished. Mit Ben sent back to spawn to think about his errors. Benteke 30 and Dinosuke following suit as UConn with a team kill against.
And that was a great re-engage by UTA. They knew that they could give up a tick. It was fine because they've already gotten a full cap with a lot of time in the bank. So they played that patiently, they played it calmly, and it worked out for them. UConn, on the other side, they did get a tick, so they know that they need a little bit less now to get a full cap. But it's really hard for them to do anything right now when you've got Tomato Lord just wreaking havoc on the backline and the follow-up from Dez.
2 supports, 1 DPS. That's his prize. And tanks, Divey, or otherwise, like Tomato, will take that all day long. Almost 5 glow in here for UTA.
Yeah, so many ults that's going to be online for them. What do they use first? They need to make sure they keep this alt bank healthy, that they don't overexpose themselves and use too much going into this next fight.
Using the Tracer could maybe corral players around to get Tomato Lord's minefield going, but with Ali taking out Dez, that's just going to be a little bit harder. No, it's not when Darko is able to get a res out courageously through the thick of things. Ali falling as well as soon as Ultra Polito gets on top of that one. The aimbot coming out, now a second one. 2 tac visors for the price of 1 here as Benteke falls to a well-placed self-destruct. That takes out their counterpart Diva's mech as well, Jag.
That was a great play by Super. Just it looks like they used the Transcendence for a body block. Just kept Benteke locked in there. Weren't able to get out, so that visor completely nullified to the bomb. They did use a lot, though. They used 4 ults on the side of UTA to hold that point. There was a lot used by the side of UConn as well, so a good trade in the end. Right now, the question is, can Tomato Lord be found out? Been a lot of focus down, and yes, they have. So that is the opening. That is the go button right now for...
Yeah, this is huge right now. Fighting 5-6 as UTA, hands down the worst position they've been in so far. Everybody coming in at this one, and a couple ultimates out soon. We're on board with Super, getting the charges out. Getting healing out to his Soldier 76 up top. Dev is still there. Dez now breaking line of sight for 3 seconds. Doesn't have the healing on him for the time being, but that's going to be okay. Benteke getting rezzed up, and that's the only person coming back from the side of UConn. All over this is UTA. Attempted interruption of a res from Benteke 30. He's going to follow the end to his counterpart. 35 seconds to go, and this is a UTA squad that is 30 seconds away from a full, not a full hold, a 2/3 full hold on first point.
On the side of UConn, but can they stay alive? They're gonna have 5 for this fight. This is actually very winnable for them, and getting Dez is a great way to start it out.
Really is. Ali's just had his number throughout. Ultra Polito trying to do some of the same, but that's going to be Q on the other side, taking out a nice one with a sticky bomb on this. Big kill onto the ball as well. As again, Super Juice just is continuing. These Zenyatta are just coming out and embarrassing some of these DPSs. I'll say it now. Sights now out, so close to that second tick now as Dez getting it going. These defense matrix completely eats alive any chance he had in an ultimate at the end. Rabbit now here. Dream is still alive, but dying slowly. UTA gets a nasty res over on the side. Defense coming through soon. Not gonna matter. This is UConn that is held on.
Yeah, they are gonna stay alive on this map, able to stay alive and possibly tying it up. They don't have a great time bank. They're gonna have less time already than what UTA capped with, but a cap nonetheless for them. Really great play. They're finally able to get those opening picks and really find value in terms of they're able to follow up and finish out the rest of the fights. You saw UTA try to re-engage. Looks like it was a bit touch and go there for a second. UConn was able to clutch up, and there is a very aggressive pulse bomb coming out from Q, but it's not going to find the picks, but Benteke is.
I'll say you could cut and paste that clip, put it on YouTube. What to do as a diva when you're all around your team and you get sticky bombed. Immediately go up in the air. It's going to eat off half yours. Doesn't matter. Both healers had him back to good in just a second. Rabbit trying to get aggressive up top. Pull attention away. Card has been rolling. They have 2 on there. Dez almost gets taken out by his counterpart, but immediately the attention focuses down bottom, and Soldier 76 will not last long throughout that one. Minefield up top is Dez trying to get back. Darko has his in the pocket for right now. Force to pull ultimate, and he's going to be okay getting damage in from down bottom. Mitbin now super aggressive, gets on over towards that big health pack, goes up to an even health total. On the other side, Tomato trying to keep it on. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the problem though with UConn. They tried playing the high ground, but they weren't moving the card at all. They were chasing the back line, they were chasing up front, they're up top, just no point presence at all. And now that card is barely moved. There's only 55 seconds left.
Holding from up top, not a bad idea from UTA. Still on with Tomato Lords. He gets a support down bottom, makes it easy for Dez on that one. Switching focus now, lots of damage on a mid-pin from Creates and from Dez. Ends out that Hammond where he stands. No more hamster on this one. Q getting super low. Yeah, getting a charge out on that one, but just a little bit of damage set between him and Death.
And really what you see there is that it's just not working out for UConn. They can't seem to be playing the point. They can't play high ground. What they needed was they needed to force UTA onto the point. But by taking the fight to them, they don't have to go anywhere if that card isn't moving. There are ults for UConn. They should win this next fight, and they're going to open up with a big
shot
one.
Over on the side, but everybody gets off of the roof just in time. Super Juice realizes it's the only way to stay alive through that. Nasty stick, Dez down. Now for the time being, Mercy immediately assumes a new target. Great job for that Darko, but not gonna matter. Benteke 30 pulls out, aimbot, gets it up top in the sky, and takes out the Mercy. It's gonna be a solid target for him all day. Overtime now situations. UConn just did this on point 1.
Absolutely. If they leave the point, though, for any reason, it's going to be game over. So they need to make sure they play the objective this time. UTA, they just need to take a dry fight there. They need to, get as much value out of UConn as they could. But instead, they used ults of their own. Now they're not going to have anything besides a Diva Bomb going into this fight. But that might be all they need. They don't need to get the kills. They just need to clear point. They could get that Bomb 9.
2 meters away, barely over it. The Valkyrie now pulled from Dinosuke as Dez falls to his counterpart. Benteke still getting this one in. Mercy back down bottom. Up top is the Soldier 76 here. Ben trying to get away. Tomato has his number though. Players falling from UTA on point a few times, but that's Ali now in the res up top. UConn now fighting this one to a mild advantage as point almost comes out of this one. That's Who is that down bottom? Is that a baby diva? Is that Creates taking out his counterpart's big diva mech? Not gonna matter though. UTA putting a bow on top of this one. The what 3-1 victory on this?
Yep, they are not going to get that second point. So close for UConn, but not close enough in the end. Another fight that really looked like it could go their way, but UTA just going to outplay them there. Going to take the 3-1 victory on Hollywood, and looking closer and closer to that 3-0. We're so used to it. There's only been 2 3-1s all of EGF so far throughout these 3 weeks. Everything else has been a 3-0. No 3-2 out, no 3-2s at all. So looks like we're going back to that script. UTA looking to finish it out next on Volskaya.
I'm with it. What, Dora got to cast St. Pete's and Quinnipiac 3-1 with me earlier, so another one of those on the board, and definitely feel good about it. We like close Overwatch here, Jag.
Yeah, absolutely. Those were one of the two. The other one was Wichita State against University of Delaware in the second week. It's great to see, you know, these teams going at it, getting really close. Sometimes the map score can be a little deceiving, you know. You see a 3-0, and those can still be pretty close. Sometimes, you know, they're not. This has been a bit back and forth. We saw that UConn has shown life on both maps that they've lost. They're still in this game. They're still fighting their hardest. So maybe they'll turn it around here and go for the reverse sweep on Volskaya. But right now, UTA, they kind of gave up a little bit on their defense. I think they played it really well on that high ground for a while on the second point, and then maybe getting a little overzealous, maybe overcommitting a bit much. But in the end, still able to finish that map off just in the nick of time. Now we're going to map 3.
I'm with it. Yeah, when they were holding up top, looked very, very impressive, very strong, and very just able to shut down any pushes coming in, really. And equally, I'd have to really laud the ability to just call it quits, realize when that attempt is over with and it's time to move on, get down bottom and push, and to stop the pushing of a payload a little bit. But Volskaya next.
Yeah, no payloads there, just points to be capped, and it's been one of, you know, one way or the other so far for Volskaya. It seems that teams either cap that first point insanely quickly on their first or second push, or it takes a lot for them to get it, or maybe they don't even get it at all. Last match, I did see that they got a full hold on that first point. Very hard to do, but definitely still possible. You and I, though, we saw a match that went to extra rounds on Volskaya. Got very close. Those teams were very close when it came to that extra time bank. Only a few seconds apart, if I remember correctly. UConn, they've been playing up to UTA at certain points. They've also just been playing down at certain points. UTA, meanwhile, they've been playing pretty solid consistently throughout it. They know their win condition, and I think that's the biggest thing. They know when to engage, when to disengage, when they really have to be fighting those battles out strongly. And saw it there, especially on Hollywood, that they really, even though I was a bit worried there for a second that maybe they overcommitted, they still got the job done.
Yeah, it's all about that ability to still produce clutch results in pressurized situations. I really do think that yeah, that's going to be money. Now, Volskaya next. And what is being shown so far?
A whole lot of what? That's what I would say about it. You do see that there is the segment Roadhog coming out from UConn, so they want to play a bit of a poke comp. They want to play a bit farther away from the point. They have one Cypher, they have the Ash, but Q, how does Q fit into this on the Tracer? Creates a little bit of chaos in the backline. Maybe that will be enough to really help them engage on UConn's defense. Meanwhile, UTA, sticking to a bit of their bread and butter. They've been really liking Tomato Lord on this Wrecking Ball. They're just going to be at it again with it.
Yeah, the only reason I would be against a UConn lineup like this, yes, the Tracer, but also just kind of some newer healers, or some newer heroes outside of the heroes, excuse me. I'm certain that these are practiced players by any means, but just maybe a little bit of warm-up on these individuals might be where my focus shifts to. Rabbit over on this hog, that's who we're watching from right now, looking for some hooks and more, trying to start off this team fight.
Well, the Roadhog Sigma is a great counter to the Wrecking Ball. You've got the CC with the Accretion Rock, you also have the Roadhog Hook, so it can be very hard to run that Wrecking Ball sometimes, but if you're just avoiding those tanks that can hit you down, it's not going to matter, and that's going to be an opening pick. Right now, Benteke going to fall, no res going to be found just yet.
Yeah, and it'd be really hard to get in there from, you know, that's Rabbit next, a big 600 health point. Oh my! So, with the sleep coming on from Ali as soon as Dino Suki does fall, Dez keeping the composure up top. And that's going to be pretty much the entirety of UConn deleted. UTA all 6 on this one.
Now we're going to see Benteke swap over to that Soldier 76. Ben also going to swap, so now they're going to be on the Hammond instead, maybe going a little bit pound for pound. They're going to swap their whole tank line. So you've seen this so many times. They tried to do a mirror or a counter swap, but then they lose all of their ult charge. They aren't able to build it back up. And UTA, they just are going to roll on through it as they have. They have so many ults at their disposal right now.
Dez over on the side here as well. Super Juice getting a little bit low and forced now to pull that trans. Want to fight this full 6-6 when they can. Coming back, Super Juice now out of that one. Creates still a little bit low, but that's going to be okay. Purple is not going to be great for this ball up top, but still gets on out and gets away from it after that one. That negative effect is finish. Attack Visor down bottom. That's Benteke super close to his, but that, yeah, Dez just gets his entire attack visor pretty much eaten up by that defense matrix. Now, an extremely brawly fight does continue. No one really losing this one quite yet because the heals have been here all day long between a Nano boost onto this Ana, or on the Diva, excuse me, and the Transcendence has really just kept anybody from the brink of death until the end here. Blue now falling, Yukon getting taken out. Super Juice finding a super twitchy headshot there at the end.
I was worried that because they didn't follow up on the Transcendence when Super Juice was forced to use it, that they might not be able to get back in there, but that fight just lasts so long that in the end, the mobile heroes that did fall on the side of UT are able to get back. In a perfect world, if you are forced to use the Transcendence, just use the Visor. It's a pocket for you. You can get in there. Even if the DM eats all of it, then you know there's no GM for the Diva, no protection, no pulse bomb that can be eaten. There was a great play from Creates. They ate the pulse bomb that came out on the side of University of Connecticut. Q not able to find it. The only thing they got there really was a DMEC in the end. So UTA finishing with more time than they started with. A great attack push, not surprising at all. They started a little bit on the defense on Hollywood. UConn was able to take advantage of it a few times. Can UConn do it again? Can they get a full cap to force extra rounds?
Yeah, it's what if the reverse sweep is going to happen? It's going to happen right here, and it's going to be a very uphill battle for the side of the University of Connecticut.
Absolutely. If they don't do it now, it's done. The series is over.
Happen. Yep. Gonna have to close the closet, put the broom back in. Who knows? Only winning by a point was UTA on first in the control. Winning by 2 on the second, though. Hollywood going a little bit more handedly for UTA. So what that tells me, Jag, is that we've just seen a UTA team that is doing a little bit better about adapting and learning about their opponents as they play against them.
I have praised UTA a ton so far because I do think they were one of the best teams in this league in the EGF. I would put them up there with Wichita State and Marist is probably my top 3. Not exactly sure what order you'd put them in. Also got to see what they do against some of the teams that are a bit higher up in the standings. But right now, making it work, making it look good, did it very well. Can they have a defense as good as their attack? As I just said, they struggled before. They might struggle again. Right now, just holding that high ground.
Ultra Polito and the rest of UTA coming through. They've gotten an alley pick so far. Lost a Diva mech, but that's going to be okay for right now. Opting to stay on high ground, right side of point, and wow, Dez just gets an absolute shooting field here. Fish in a barrel on that one. Suke falling as well, so main support done for the side of UConn. I think that, UTA is going to be able to hold on here without UConn's supporting heals.
They did get 2 picks, though. Dez will be back pretty shortly. But Super Juice just respawning. That's a far walk for his end. There's no speed boost to help you. No way to make yourself faster unless you commit the Transcendence just to get back to the point. So UConn, if they're wise, they know this is a 5v6, and they will run in and take that fight early.
They do need to get in there soon. Super Juice's healing and Discord orbs can be applied from a distance, but that distance will be closed now, so we have Super Juice back in the fight. Big eat here for Rabbit. UConn not going quietly here, taking 2 picks on this. Darko will have his work cut out for him trying to get back, and Benteke 30 with a fantastic flank on here. 88, 89, 90 to ult on this one, and there's no there's no tanks on the other side of this area right here. If he gets that visor, he'll be having open rain all day, but it's Dez who beats him to it. Ball on the other side, Diva up in his grill. Defense majoring that away for the time being, but he does get the Diva mech out, so that is a little bit of an advantage of the... A quick death chosen from Minpei. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess, it's just funny, he went from playing and fighting to just very, very quickly, okay, this is over, done.
Well, it's smart. You're not feeding
Yeah.
any ultimate charge, and they got a tick. So good for UConn. They are able to get the first 33%. And now look at this. They committed nothing besides the nano last fight. So they're going to have 5 ultimates going into this. Like I said, UTA only has 2, maybe 3, depending on how quickly they can get this Transcendence.
Yeah, 2 supports and 1 tank though, so damage might be mitigated for the time being. Soon will be creates up that self-destruct. Wait, no, that's 2 tanks in the support. My bad. Tomato Lord rolling on in here. He's got the minefield up. Might want to use it in this chokehold, but yeah, he knows where these players are at, and minefield goes on point. I'm speaking foolishness. Absolutely bursting out against his counterpart. Rez comes through as Tomato came back on this one, but Dino Suke falls immediately afterwards. Everybody converging onto the newly Rez tank.
They're going to see the Diva fly in the face of the tactical advisor, but has to go down. Benteke, though, being followed up on by the Tracer, is going to fall. And once again, a big alt bank for UConn, but cannot find what they need in the end. This is getting to last fight territory, maybe a second one. They can die quickly enough here. I should never doubt Super Juice. Super Juice, not only great at getting the heals and discords on the targets that are needed, but just clicking heads. So many headshots, so many dinks we've seen today. Got that Transcendence and already at 60% for another one.
Yeah, he's only looking at a couple more headshots for another Transcendence. Will assist UTA through this possible last team fight. We're at 22 seconds. Sticky out, Sticky missed. They've been getting super low, but Benteke is the one who does fall here. Tomato getting aggressive on his pushes and on those ball rotations. Now he falls immediately afterwards. Big stick here, but this is a lot of red UTA kills in the kill feed. Q finding a couple of his own, but Dez out. The last little bit of the aimbot goes away, and nobody in sight to touch this point. UTA put down one last member on the end there. I think that was the Tracer who was trying, and a valiant effort it was.
Yeah, a valiant effort this entire series for UConn, but they are going to fall to 0-3. UTA, meanwhile, going to be up to 3-0, so kind of a tale of 2 teams. And Super Juice, this is why I was giving the compliments earlier. I think this is the play they get on the Tracer. Yes, it is. The snipe. Look at that accuracy. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I think that was Super Juice on the Zenyatta play the game for first game and third game. The second game was taken over by, I think, a double self-destruct from one of these Diva players. I'm honestly not sure which one it was. But yeah, if you need any other, I'm not sure what else you could possibly need to say that Super Juice was popping off than to say that Zenyatta got play of the game 2 out of these 3 games.
Yeah, and Zen, great support character to play if you've got good accuracy. So popular in Overwatch League Season 1. Maybe not as much, still was using goats, but not as impactful maybe as he has been earlier on. And very high skill, high reward character, no mobility. So UTA doing a great job at peeling. There were so many times where I thought Super Juice might fall, but the Diva as well as the Mercy were there to help protect them. And now, got a little interview from the winning team to talk about how they did today. And it's going to be Darko joining us from UTA.
Hello.
Darko, how we doing? Playing support over here with Super Juice on the side of UTA, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. Little interview action. I want to thank you for your time after the match. Come on in and speak with us a little bit. Jag, would you like to start or like me to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll start it off. So it seems like you guys really wanted to run the Mercy Zen composition. I think you might have run a little bit of Moira Lucio to start things off, but those last 2 maps especially, you really like doing the Zen Mercy. What advantage does that give you, and how did it help you win the game today?
Well, I think it's in the discords. We use that along with our ball and tracer, and I think it creates a lot of pressure on their backline or whatever priority target we're trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a really strong comp along with the Mercy Res, and like it just has so much control.
So, what is it about that coordination really that is just so money? Like to me, it might just be it gives everybody a target, and there's no unclear question about it. What is it that you really take advantage from that?
It's really just it's like whoever is I would say is usually maybe a support for our tracer and ball. They work together to try to pressure their backline, and then it's just me, Zen, and our soldier, and we just try to keep the front line from doing what they want and pressure them out, and just create so much uh, panic, I guess, within their
Mm-hmm.
team. And it just makes it easy when our DPS is also getting the pickoffs before fights start, and
Yep.
just really easy comp to play. I think to our strengths.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Super Juice hitting those Zenyatta headshots definitely didn't hurt, right?
Yeah, he's okay.
Just okay. Well, really great team performance. I gotta say though, on Lijiang, the 1 point you lost was on Guardian. It seems like you guys weren't as comfortable there. Came very close though, almost brought it back 99 to 99, lost 199. So going into that 3rd point on Control Center, what was the plan there? How did you feel like you guys could get back in and take the map?
We just play how we want to play. We adapt to what they're doing, and we just play our comp better than they can play theirs. That's
There
pretty
you
much
go.
everything to it.
I like it. I like it. Put up and just wait. You shake that tree enough, see what falls out, and you guys end up doing a little bit better. I think we're gonna be getting out of here in just a second, but I wanted to ask the University of Texas Arlington. What other teams are you personally looking forward to playing, or maybe not looking forward to playing?
Just specifically in
In the
EGF.
EGF, yes, sir.
I haven't really looked at our schedule, but I'm sure any team is going to be a really good opponent, and I think we'll come out with the wins.
Yeah, positive stuff. Darko, we appreciate you coming on in here and giving us a minute of your time after the game to talk about it. Give us a little more content. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been the UTA wrap up of UConn. They stay 3-0. UConn drops to 0-3 here for the EGF Overwatch Thursdays. Now, do believe we have one more match after this, correct?
Yeah, it's gonna be Fairfield University against Niagara University starting around 10:30. So stick around, you don't want to miss it.
Yes, sir. About 15 minutes from now, and someone will be taking over from me. Are you doing that one, Jags?
I am, so you get to see my lovely face a little bit longer.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I'm FBI Tugboat. You can find me at my Twitter handle right there. There you go, right there. Jags is I can't reach all the way over there. He is in some other state or something like that. Then we wanted to give a shout out to our producer Juke as well, and thank you guys for watching the Electronic Gaming Federation Collegiate side. We got one more match of Overwatch coming up for you here in just a little bit.
What is going on, everybody? It is play-by-play caster Septilence here to let you know we are waiting on someone to come in a little bit late, so we're running a bit behind. We will be back with you guys with some intense action in just a little bit. We'll see you then. Hello, guys, gals, and other pals. I am once again play-by-play caster Septilance here with Jag to bring you my second, his fourth EGFC match of the evening between Niagara and Fairfield. I don't know much about these teams, but I'm sure we've got a phenomenal match in store for you tonight.
Well, it's two teams that have not been able to win out so far. Fairfield 0-2 has not had the best start to their season. Niagara 1-1, so they're at even right now, able to at least get to that 0.5. Both these teams looking for a win as always, but Fairfield really needs it right now. If they fall to 0-3, it's going to be a lot harder for them to get back into this season. Meanwhile, Niagara wants to get up to that 2-1, get to the higher part of this bracket of the standings, wants to show that they're a player and they came to play.
Absolutely. All these players tonight really looking to get a win on the board, being 0-3, a terrifying place to be at any point in the season. So I'm sure Fairfield going to be fighting really hard to avoid that. First map going to be Lijiang Tower. You know it, you love it, and it's a map that I think offers a lot of very interesting compositions. Each of the three maps I think gives advantages to different heroes and forces a lot of unique combinations to come out of these teams.
Yeah, and two of the heroes that I've really seen stand out tonight are the Symmetra and Junkrat, sometimes played in scenarios that you might not expect it. Really great on Control Center, but the Symmetra is still good on Night Market. There was that strategy for a long time where you just take that TP up top of the window and then jump right onto the point. Avoid all of that area in the middle. And Symmetra working out